podcast is live.
We are here.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Yeah.
We are live.
Woo!
Now let me send all the friends the links.
I know, yeah. Now comes the 5-minute portion where we just send the link to people.
Man,
Please hold.
Send it to me.
I really like that live stream, but the first 5 minutes they were just sending links to people. It was
Yeah, they're
weird.
just staring at their
Chain
screen.
mail.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, I'm the best.
Send it on movie night, please.
Selis, you're so good at what you do.
Oh my god,
waiting
thank
music.
you.
I like this. I feel like
It'd
I'm
be
in an
great
elevator.
if
Oh my
it'd be
God.
so awesome if I had like 6 hands and can do multiple things. That'd be so great.
You're doing it. You're making
Rocco.
it happen.
What's up?
Rocco, that sounds like elevator music.
It literally
Oh my
probably
God.
is.
Okay. So I'm not gonna talk into the abyss. I'm gonna wait for some people to come and then I'll I'll do my little thing.
Don't want to waste
Yeah.
good material.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
You-
We have folks.
Oh wait, I had
Chris.
Holy
the
moly.
wrong.
What? Oh my
Oh.
god, what's happening?
Yes.
It's madness.
Okay, for the 2 people here, hello.
Hello, everyone.
How are you tonight?
Welcome.
We are here to do another Table Screams, a live reading of A Nightmare on Elm Street. We will not be starting this live reading until about 9 p.m. Grab your drinks and get ready.
because we're waiting.
We're waiting.
Watch an episode of SpongeBob in the meantime.
Oh my God.
Hello, Larry.
Larry.
I'm gonna
How
listen
are
to
you?
4 Ramones albums in the meantime. Did you guys listen to that UK drill song I sent you that I told you to listen to
When?
the other night, last night, Thursday, whenever?
What's he talking
I
about?
Dude, I remember the
we don't talk
conversation.
outside of TableScreams.
That
Thank
is-
you. Oh my god, I love Dylan.
We're like,
Dylan is just like so professional.
I'm the people's princess.
We only communicate professionally, only with the handshake and only with the signature at the end.
If I'm not being paid, I'm not showing up.
Hey everybody, there's a bunch of people in here now. I can't see how
holy
many. people
schmoly.
are.
Are there
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
On my end, it's
The
How do I
cat
see
drums. I don't know your name, but hi. Julianne, hi. I don't know who you are, but hello.
Julianne. Bonjour,
Hi.
Julianne.
Good day, everyone.
Shaheem, hello. How are you?
I'm gonna have to wait before I ask people to give me an F in the chat.
Already lost in the sauce.
I
They
know.
all just
no.
I went Hollywood,
We're
boys.
doing too much before this
No, I
this
know.
table
You
reading.
gotta
Too
save
much.
us for the Q&A after.
We're making jokes about jokes.
Ooh.
oh no.
Speaking of jokes about
Gotta
jokes
warm
about
up.
jokes.
Should we do some warm ups?
What? I'm literally posting links, and I'm sorry, guys.
The worst warm up you could possibly do for your voice.
Oh,
You
Larry,
don't like my warm-up?
Larry, listen. Don't finish the rest of that. That line. Don't finish.
Oh my God. It's pretty.
Oh my god.
Just stop there, Larry. I'm amazing today. How about the rest of you guys? I am doing good today. I'm
Thank
glad
you for
that you're
asking.
doing well, Shaheem.
Every day is the best day of my life.
That's like Dylan's cry for help. I hope everything's okay.
Oh
Therapy's expensive, guys.
Oh God.
BetterHelp.com.
I can't move my head too much because this hat does not want to stay on.
It's Pharrell Kruger.
What you get, Pharrell? Yeah.
I was initially gonna make my thing say Pharrell Kruger actually, but then it was Freddy Krugtano. But that
I
one
like
didn't
that
go.
one.
That one didn't go
Why
over
not?
too well.
Yeah.
No, we had to put our character names. You know,
Did
Freddy
you see
Bag of
this
Donuts.
murder? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review
What were
next?
you gonna put? Freddy, what?
Freddy Krugtano. Hit the bell if you're feeling swell.
Hit subscribe and please don't cry.
Hello, Matthew. How are you?
Hi, Matthew.
Oh my goodness. How are you
Matthew.
seeing these chats?
This is a sip and smoke stream, right? Good
Yes.
turns. You know what? Yes. Do it up.
This is a sip
I'm a
and
good
pop
kid
smoke
today.
stream.
Treasure every moment in life, including this night. You know what? I love that for us.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
That's what we needed right now.
Akumate.
Oh my god, I always forget we can do that.
Oh my god, can you do it on your end too?
I don't know if I can.
We're so new
I
to
think it's
this
just
stream
you.
life. Oh, it's
Yeah,
just me.
Is this like Twitch?
Oh my god. I don't even know how to use Switch.
Matthew,
Are
thank you
we
so much
like-
for the $20. Guys,
Oh,
if
wait.
we hit 20,000 subscribers tonight, Rocco and I will kiss. So
Oh.
We used to tell
No, no,
clients
no,
at
no,
work
no, no,
that.
no, no.
Jhownee, oh my god.
Jhownee.
my girlfriend just texted me WTF.
Wait, if she actually did that, I'm dead.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Sydney, it's all love.
Oh
All
no,
love.
kids. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Oh my god.
Let's hope so.
Oh no. kids. And no, we are far
Jesus.
too young to be parents.
Oh wow, we have some
Shit.
thirst going on.
Yes. Me and Dylan are gonna have to start the OnlyFans together. I'm sorry, Selis.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
I was
sir.
just
You
gonna
will
say
find
that.
free water bottles in the lobby.
If they reach 50K, they'll open up their OnlyFans.
Oh. Okay, so we have about 13 people here.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Ooh.
going to introduce all of you guys.
Yes.
Okay. So for tonight's live stream, we have Rocco as Freddy and the
Alrighty.
narrator and Lieutenant Thompson. Then we
Yeah.
have me as Nancy and Tina's mom. We have Jhownee as Glenn and the coroner, I think.
Yeah. I'm a cleaner.
Yeah, I think
That's okay.
And that one guy in the
That's you, right,
classroom.
Jhownee?
Oh, and the one guy in the classroom.
And I'm the other
Okay.
one. I'm the other one guy in the classroom.
Okay. Then we have Melissa, my queen, as Tina, and also Sergeant Garcia. We have Dylan as Rod and multiple other characters. I couldn't even tell you the names. Dylan's doing a whole lot tonight.
Did I do that?
Oh, no spoilers. Oh god, no spoilers right now, Dylan.
Hello,
Ugh.
Wilson. How are you?
Wilson. I'm sorry. You probably get that joke a lot.
I think what makes that joke better for me is I have no clue what the hell you're talking about.
It's,
Isn't that from the Tom Hanks movie?
yeah, it's one of those,
Yeah.
you know, one of those Tom Hanks movies.
There's like,
I'm sorry, I
every
forgot the
time-
name of the movie.
Isn't it Castaway?
Oh my god! Do not start the TikTok thing now.
No, but that's literally the name of the movie because that's the volleyball, right? Like,
Is that the name of the movie? I don't know. I forgot.
I think so.
Okay. Oh, lovely.
watch those
Love
kind of movies?
questions. Who is each one of your favorite character in the original Nightmare on Elm
Oh.
Street? Wow.
Ooh,
Let's Rocco, you go first, and we'll go down the line.
I like I like Lin Shaye's teacher character.
Okay.
Not really my favorite character, but everybody's gonna say the same couple characters. So I'm just gonna
Jhowney's
say something
face.
different.
Really?
So
Not
random.
subtle.
I know everybody's gonna say the same characters, so I might as well dose somebody different in there.
I am gonna be real. Mine is really basic, and it's Nancy. So
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah.
shocker. Jhownee?
Oh, so good.
Nancy, G, and Alice.
Oh, okay.
Your boy Sergeant Garcia. No, I'm just kidding.
He's one of my favorites now.
You playing
Oh,
Sergeant
I don't
Garcia
know.
is my favorite.
Now I'm gonna be basic and say your boy Freddy.
I see. I was gonna say
Oh.
Freddy too, but you know, I don't want
Fair.
to take anybody's answer.
That's my
Well,
boy.
he's the most consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
Freddy's great.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. It's Jason.
Oh my god!
What?
I want to kill
Oh, not
myself
worried.
already.
It's not- it's not- honestly, I think I really do like John Saxon's Lieutenant Thompson. I think he's an interesting and complicated character. So
Mhm.
I'll go with him. I think he's an atypical hero in a horror franchise.
Good answer. Good answer.
That's a great answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I feel like nobody ever says him, so I love that.
No, he's really great. He's underrated.
He is.
Although he wears too much eyeliner.
Yeah.
You know what? I love that look for him.
Me too.
A vibe.
Yes, 100%. And hello, Cody. How are
Exactly.
you?
Here.
Okay, I think we can start at 8:45.
What?
What?
If we're starting, I'm gonna need another drink.
Oh, don't get too drunk.
Cody Leach is here.
Yes,
My
hello.
Cody's here to drink some blood.
Cody, do you have your coffee ready? It's gonna be a long night. How are we feeling?
Good. You know,
Great.
straight vibes.
Good. This hat on Rocco is giving me Pharrell vibes.
Yeah.
Not really Freddy
I got
vibes.
this. I got this
but...
at HappyCon 2021. See, the problem is I can't, like, it doesn't fit on, if I wear it the correct way, it doesn't fit on my head with the headphones. So you guys are going to have to get the full Neptunes vibe.
Yeah, next year we're going to HappyCon all dressed as minions.
Now
that'll be a
Ooh.
horror movie.
Wrong stream.
Oh, none of that. None of that,
Oh my
Shaheem.
God.
Shaheem, you personally know the struggle I went through with these movies.
I gotta agree though, Jason, because of the enthralling characters in all of the movies.
I gotta say, I'm a Pamela Voorhees fan.
Pamela's
Yes,
badass.
she's great.
I'm all about
She's
the mama.
awesome.
Yeah,
Love her.
Yeah.
The best part of the series for
Yeah.
me is Pamela.
Jason is not the mama.
Have any of you ever dressed up as Freddy for Halloween? I think
Yes.
Melissa has. Yes.
Yes. Should bring him
Melissa's
back.
Melissa's like, do you want to see my
I've done
collection?
that. Oh my god, yes.
Yes, don't we all love Pam? Okay,
All right.
Are we doing
I think
this?
we are ready.
Oh my
Are we
God.
doing it?
All
We're
right.
doing.
Are we doing
Oh
the
my god.
At
Oh
one
my
thing.
god!
You guys.
Are we so ready?
Oh my
thing? Ready.
Yes.
Thank you for coming out. to Sweet and Spooky's production of Nightmare on Elm Street, our interpretation of the script. We fade up on a series of shots, all close and teasing. A man's feet in shabby work shoes, stalking through a junk bin in a dark, firelit, dusty boiler room. Then a man's hand, dirty and nail-bitten, reaches into frame and picks up 4 fishing knives. He methodically sharpens each before attaching them to the glove. He slides it onto his hand, and the camera racks focus to his face, badly burnt. Hidden in the shadow of his dirty fedora, his lips curl into a perverted grin. Cut to exterior, Los Angeles night. A young girl, Tina Gray, played by Melissa, strong-willed, 15 years of age, runs past the camera. She runs through a deserted alleyway. She steps into a puddle, and then another, and then another. Each puddle grows in size until she slips, but instead of falling into it, she falls out of it into a dusty boiler room. Then puddles drip from the ceiling. She looks up, baffled. The ceiling looks like the alleyway, but it ends at the beginning of the dusty room. A spacey, distant laugh begins growing louder as Tina walks down the hall of the room. 1, 2 friends coming for you. Tina opens her mouth to scream, but only a dry green dust pours out. At that precise moment, the man grows out of the wall, swiping at her with his finger knives. She dodges it and tries to push him away, but moves in slow motion. The man grabs her, moving close to her, embracing her when... Smash cut. Interior, Tina's bedroom, night. Tina convulses in bed with a scream. Looking around wildly, someone is knocking on her door.
You okay, Tina?
Tina's mother, played by Selis, sticks her head in with a worried look. Tina sits up and blows out a breath, groggily.
Just a dream, damn dream is all.
The woman, once attractive, okay, rude, ventures a step into the room. A man hovers in the background. Tina's mother waves him away without looking, shoving a strand of bleached hair from her eyes. She appraises the daughter.
Some dream judging from that.
She nods at Tina's nightgown. Tina looks down to see 4 long slashes in her gown, cleanly cut as if by scalpels.
You're coming to the sack or what?
Hold your horses. You gotta cut your nails or stop that kind of dreaming, Tina. One or the other.
The woman shuts the door behind her. Tina looks back to her nightgown. She looks at the cuts again, then crosses to a cross on the wall. She stares at it intensely. Fade to black. The first day. Exterior, high school, day. Tina stares at a group of young girls jump roping. They're dressed in old-timey dresses and are very pale. They notice her and begin singing. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. A horn blares, jolting Tina out of her daydream. Glenn Lance, played by Jhownee, sits in his cherry red 1959 Cadillac convertible as Nancy Thompson, played by Selis, jumps out. She runs over to Tina and gives her a hug. Tina hugs her back half-heartedly. Glenn swaggers over.
You look shot, Tina. Wake up in the wrong side of the bed?
Glenn?
It's just nightmares.
Nancy perks up.
You too? I haven't had a good night's sleep in days.
So I guess my new name is Nightmare?
You wish, Glenn.
Before Nancy can finish, Rod Lane, played by Dylan, a lean John Travolta type in black leather and new wave studs, joins up with them and interrupts.
Had a hard on this morning when I woke up, Tina. Had your name written all over it.
Tina's jaw shifts in frustrated laughter.
There's 4 letters in my name, Rod. How could it possibly fit?
Hey, up yours with a twirling lawnmower.
He storms off across the lawn.
Rod says the sweetest things.
He's nuts about you.
Nuts being the operative word.
The group walks towards the school. As they pass the camera, we can see that the schoolgirls have disappeared without a trace. Interior, high school, minutes later. Nancy slams her locker closed.
I'm just done with Rod's attitude. Let his shrink deal with it. It's hard to worry about him anyways. Can't get back to sleep at all. So, what do you dream?
They begin to walk in the halls.
It was nothing. Everybody has nightmares once in a while. Even Glenn's been having them.
Wait, Glenn too? About what?
I don't know. Something about a
The bell rings and students start flooding the halls.
shit. I'll tell you tonight. We still on?
Yeah, I'll see you at 8.
Nancy winks and gives a thumbs up as she backs into her homeroom. Interior, Tina's living room, night. On Glenn dialing. Nancy and Tina are watching, giggling.
I can't believe his mother actually let him come over here.
Right. Well, she didn't exactly.
Glenn shoves a cassette into Tina's boombox. Ayo.
See, I got this cousin who lives near the airport and that it's okay for me to stay with, right? So I got the sound effects tape from Rod and
The phone is answered. Glenn jerks the tone arm off the record with a skirp.
hello, Mom? Yeah, out here at Barry's.
The sound of a jet plane landing begins to make itself heard on the tape. Glenn moves the machine closer to the phone.
Yeah, noise as usual. Glad we don't live here, huh? Yeah, Aunt Eunice says hello.
The jet is screaming in now, howling like a monstrous banshee. Nancy and Tina dissolve into muffled giggles.
Right, I'll call you in the morning. Right. Yeah, sure.
Suddenly, the tape goes silent. Glenn goes pale. Next moment, a loud Ferrari can be heard racing.
Some kids drag racing outside, I think.
The sound effects change abruptly to a speeding sedan and the age-old screech of brakes, a scream, and then a horrible collision. Nancy frantically tries to find the right button to turn it off, but misses. There's a loud screech of fast-forward mayhem. Glenn improvises desperately.
Listen, Mom, I gotta go. I think there's been an accident out front.
Nancy jumps back from the cassette player. A battle scene bursts out at top volume. Machine guns, hand grenades, diving bearcats, and shouts of charging Huns. Glenn makes a last-ditch dive and flings his cassette out of the machine. Blessed silence as they last.
Right, I'll call the police. No, just some neighbors having a fight, I guess. I'm fine. Call you in the morning.
He hangs up and sags back.
Smooth.
Would it work, didn't it?
Nancy rolls her eyes. Tina puts a new cassette in the boombox. Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles begins playing. Interior, Tina's living room, sometimes later. Nancy casually hyperfixates on a flame in the fireplace as Tina and Glenn lounge around.
Nice to have a fire.
Really? Turn her up a little.
Nancy turns a nearby valve handle, and the gas fire climbs brightly over its artificial log. Tina joins her, heartened.
Maybe we should call Rod. Have him come over too. He might get jealous.
No, Rod and I are over. He's too much of a maniac.
We should join the Marines. They could make something out of him, like a hand grenade.
Tina laughs despite herself. Nancy brightens.
See? You've forgotten the bad dream. Did I tell you?
Tina shakes her head, wishing she had forgotten.
I wish. All I can think of are that guy's weird face and hearing those fingernails.
Nancy looks up with a flinch.
Fingernails. That reminds me of the dream I had.
Tina looks up.
So you're finally going to tell me?
Nancy chuckles, but there's no joy in her laugh.
I dreamed about this guy in a dirty red and green sweater. I dream in color, you know? He walked right into the room I was in, right through the wall, like it was smoke or something, and just stared at me. Then he walked out through the wall on the other side, like he just come to check me out.
The story has left the room deathly quiet. Especially Tina seems affected.
So, what about the fingernails?
Nancy remembers imitating the frightening coincidence.
He scraped his fingernails along things, actually. They were more like little knives on his fingers or something. Like he'd made them himself. Anyway, they made this horrible noise. Skirt!
Nancy, you dreamed about the same creep I did.
The girls stare at each other. Glenn starts nervously laughing.
Oh, come on. That's impossible.
This strikes a nerve with the already on edge Tina.
You know what we dreamt about, Dick?
There's no way you both heard us sing screech.
Skirt! The unmistakable sound. A distant scraping against the house, just outside the window. Something multiple, thin and sharp. Something like metal fingernails. Nancy's mouth opens a fraction of an inch.
Impossible, huh?
It's probably just a cat or something. I'll show you.
Exterior, front of house, night. The door creeps open as Glenn cautiously steps out with a bat. As Tina and Nancy cartoonishly peek out from both sides of the door frame, Glenn stalls at the first step. Nancy shoves him.
Go out already.
Okay, I'm going. I'm gonna punch out your ugly lights, whoever you are.
No answer, but a slight rustle in the bushes. Glenn does a 180 and runs right back inside. The girls prod him back out, giddy with giggling fear.
It was probably just a stupid cat, like I said.
Then bring us back its tail and whiskers.
The girls push him back outside.
Guys, I don't have a cat.
They both turn to her. She shrugs. They both turn back to see a large figure. They scream, and the figure comes out of the shadows to reveal Rod, who leaps up and shouts like a sportscaster.
And it's number 36, Rod Lane, bringing Lance down just 3 yards from the goal with a brilliant tackle, and the fans go wild.
Rod dances into the light, flashing a wild grin at Tina. The girls relieved and frightened at the same time.
What the hell are you doing here?
Came to make up, no big deal. Your ma home?
Of course. What's that?
Rod takes the spindly hand rake he found and scrapes the house's wall. It makes a terrible scratching sound. He grins and tosses it aside.
Intense, huh? So what's happening, an orgy or something?
Maybe a funeral, you dickhead.
Rod lunges for him, and in one swift motion, a knife is suddenly in Glenn's face. Nancy jumps between them.
It's just a sleepover date, Rod. Just Tina and me. Glenn was just leaving.
Rod eyes Glenn, laughs, and flips the knife closed, pulling Tina close to him.
You see his face? Your ma ain't home, is she? Hey, me and Tina got stuff to discuss.
He pulls Tina inside without further ceremony.
Rod.
Rod's already got himself and Tina halfway through the living room, heading towards the bedroom.
We got her mother's bed. You two got the rest.
We should get her out of here.
Tina darts to the front door, her blouse half opened.
Hey, you guys are hanging around, right? Please don't leave me alone with this lunatic, Nancy.
She disappears, giggling.
So we guarded together for the night, in each other's arms, like we always said.
Glenn, not now. I mean, we're here for Tina now, not for ourselves.
She lightly kisses him, then heads inside.
Why is she so bothered by a stupid nightmare anyway?
Because he was scary, that's why.
Who was scary?
Nancy turns and looks at him.
Don't you think it's weird, her and me dreaming about the same guy?
Glenn looks as if he's biting his tongue.
You didn't have a bad dream too, did you?
Glenn gives her a funny look.
Me? I don't dream.
She doesn't look convinced.
Why would I need to when I have you?
Nancy rolls her eyes playfully. Smooth. He takes her inside. Over the sound of locks falling, we fade to black. Interior, Tina's living room, night. A gaudy, old-school clock in the living room reads 2:15 a.m. Rack focused to Glenn and Nancy sitting on the couch, deadpan. The sound of loud lovemaking can be heard from the next room.
Oh!
So, you see any good movies lately?
Rod moans loudly.
I...
Tina moans louder.
Morality sucks.
Cut to interior, Tina's mother's bedroom, night. This is a slightly larger room than Tina's. Tina and Rod fall into the bed, panting.
I knew there was something about you I liked.
Rod yaws into the pillow, happy.
You feel better now, right?
Jungle Man fixed Jane.
No more fights?
No more fights.
Good. No more nightmares for either of us then.
He pulls the covers over his head. He's almost out already.
When did you have a nightmare?
Hey, guys can have nightmares too, you know. Ain't got a corner on the fucking market or something.
He rolls over, practically snoring, and pulls another cover over his head, a dirty red and green one.
I didn't know you slept with a lanky babe.
She laughs to herself and closes her eyes. Interior, Tina's bedroom, night. Nancy lays in Tina's bed on the verge of falling asleep. She turns to her side. The wall behind her begins turning a bright red with a green smear across its center. It begins to pulse in the exact time with her heart's beat. Something presses against the surface from the inside. The plaster bulges out as if suddenly elastic, taking the shape of a man's face. The face opens its mouth. The knives rake through the wall. She jerks awake, sitting upright. Her face retracts suddenly. The wall is normal. She lays back to go to sleep, but feels like she's being watched, violated. Smash cut into Tina in the same position, laying in bed. A pebble can be heard hitting the window. She stirs but doesn't wake up. Then another pebble hits the window. Tina's eyes open. And another one hits, this time louder. She sits up.
Rod?
She turns to see Rod sleeping. Rat! Another pebble. Tina slips to the window. She looks outside to see her street. It's dark and cold, but now overgrown with vegetation. She tries to come to terms with this until whap! This time a heavier stone and a thin crack bristles across the glass. It startles her, and she becomes angry. Cut to slam. Tina barges out of her front door.
All right, who's there? This isn't funny, asshole.
On Tina's POV, we see a long alleyway has appeared. It forks off at the end. A light flickers on from the right corner. Tina nervously begins walking towards it. As she walks down the alley, the vegetation starts growing towards her, almost yearning to touch her.
Tina.
Hello? Who the hell is that?
The vegetation begins dragging its roots across the brick wall. It makes a metallic skirk sound. She turns around to see the vegetation wither, dying at her feet. She begins running towards the light, but when she rounds the corner, she finds herself at the doorway again. She turns around to run into her house, but the hallway begins growing, making her dizzy. At the end of the hallway, a light flickers on, revealing a figure. The man from her nightmares. He begins dragging his knives on the wall. Orange sparks spurt out.
Oh shit, please God.
This is God.
Tina runs for her life back into the alley. This time she makes the left turn, spitting her out onto a street. She runs to Nancy's house. Exterior, Nancy's house, night. She bangs on Nancy's door.
Nancy, open the door, Nancy, please.
The man slows. He has Tina now, and he knows it.
She's still awake. Nancy can't hear you.
Tina turns and looks full at the approaching man. Smudged by deep shadow, he's big and hideous. She runs around back when, bam! The man is leaning against the wall. He takes the blades on the end of his right index finger and lops off one of his fingers on his left hand. Then another. We see the pieces of finger fall past Nancy's face in slow motion. She screams. Cut to Tina's mother's bedroom, night. Tina screams while she sleeps, and Rod lurches up to see Tina levitating on the bed, fighting with an imaginary figure.
Tina!
She suddenly flies into the ceiling and spins around. 4 long gashes appear as she screams bloody murder. A huge irrigation of blood floods the bed. Interior, Tina's bedroom, night. Nancy jolts awake, terrified. The cries of Rod are ringing through the whole house. She's forced herself to move, bolting from the bed. Interior, hallway, night. Nancy flies into the dark hall, crashing directly into someone who lurches out of the dark before her. She screams and jumps back.
What the hell is going on?
Oh, geez, Glenn, I'm not sure. Rod's gone ape.
I'll kill you!
Nancy grabs the door. It's locked. She pounds on it. Things fall into sudden, awful silence on the other side.
Rod, you better not hurt Tina.
Rod erupts into terrible, hoarse laughter and sobbing. They hear breaking glass. Glenn barrels into the door, making use of his football skills. Interior, Tina's mother's bedroom, night. Nancy charges into the pitch black room and slips, going down hard.
Shit, you okay?
Yeah, there's something slippery all over the floor. Tina?
No answer. The room is quiet as a tomb, except for a steady drip from all over. Then Glenn finds a light switch. There's blood everywhere, up the walls, all over the clawed ceiling, soaking the floor. Nancy looks down to find herself in a pool of blood.
Oh shit.
Nancy wobbles up and sees Tina in the center of the ravaged bed, unmistakably and utterly dead. Nancy presses against the wall, then contorts and chokes.
I'm the cops.
He bursts from the room. Nancy turns away from the blood in repulsion, sticking her head through the shattered window Rod Lane used for his escape, sucking in the cold night air and moaning. Fade to black. Interior police station night. Lieutenant Don Thompson, played by ya boy, Nancy's father, a decent-looking man in his mid-40s, enters the station. His shaken aide, a uniformed patrolman named Parker, played by Dylan, greets him.
Lieutenant Thompson, sorry to wake you, but
I'd have canned your ass if you hadn't. What do you got for me?
her name was Tina Gray. It was her home. Father abandoned 10 years ago. Mother's in Vegas with a boyfriend. We're trying to reach her now.
Lieutenant Thompson grimaces as if he knows the story.
What's the coroner got to say?
Something like a razor was the weapon, but nothing found on the scene.
Thompson is already at the desk before Sergeant Garcia, played by Melissa, a big man, shoves him a sheet of paper.
Lieutenant, you know who?
Where is she?
I put her in your office.
Parker scurries after.
Looks like her boyfriend did it. Rod Lane. Musician type. Arrest for brawling, dope.
Terrific. What the hell was she doing there?
She lived there.
I don't mean her.
Interior interrogation room night. Thompson enters his office and confronts Nancy and her mother, Marge Thompson.
I mean you. What the hell was she doing there?
Marge, played by Melissa, is in her mid-30s, a good-looking woman despite the hour and circumstances.
Well, hello to you too, Donald.
Thompson stops, the steam suddenly out of him. The girl's a wreck, and he winces to see it.
Marge.
Thompson glances at Parker and then the other uniformed cops who are in the room. There's no question who the boss is here. Thompson turns to Nancy. She fumbles a smile.
How you doing, pal?
Okay. Hi, Dad.
Nancy's dress is dark with dried blood, her skin clammy and the color of paste. Marge shoots her ex-husband a worried glance. Thompson pulls a chair close to her.
Look, I don't want to get into this now. God knows you need time. But I sure would like to know what the hell you were doing shacked up with 3 other kids in the middle of the night, especially a delinquent lunatic like Lane.
Rod's not a lunatic.
You got a sane explanation for what he did?
Apparently he was crazy jealous. Nancy said they had a fight. Rod and Tina?
It wasn't that serious.
Well, maybe you don't think murder's that serious, but...
Nancy sits bolt upright in her chair, her eyes flashing.
She was my best friend. Don't you dare say I don't take her death seriously. I just meant their fights weren't that serious.
The girl holds the woman's eyes for a moment, then looks away.
She dreamed this would happen.
What?
She had a nightmare about somebody trying to kill her last night. That's why we were there. She was afraid to sleep alone.
A tear splashes off the arm of her chair.
Right, she's been through enough for one night. You have her statement.
The mother and daughter rise. Thompson raps on the door and Parker opens it.
Look, I suggest you keep a little better track on her. She's still a kid, you know.
You think I knew there were boys there? You try raising a teenager alone.
Then she and the girl are gone. Thompson glares at Parker.
See that they get home okay.
Parker nods and exits the room. Fade to black. The second day. Interior, Nancy's kitchen, morning. Marge opens a new bottle of gin, pouring herself a careful shot, drinking it, then chasing it with the coffee. Nearby, a TV drones the morning news. In the headlines this morning, a local teenage girl was brutally murdered during an all-night party. Marge turns, startled, seeing Nancy coming downstairs. The girl looks a little better than she did in the police station, but her eyes are still red-rimmed, and a vacant stress masks her face. She looks to the TV. Police say the victim, 15-year-old Christina Gray, had quarreled early with her boyfriend Ron Lane, a punk rocker with a history of delinquency. Lane is now the subject of a citywide manhunt. According to the TV picture, has begun featuring a shot of a dark rubber body bag being carried to a coroner's van. Tina's arm falls out of the bag when click. Marge shuts the TV before Nancy can see any more.
Where do you think you're going?
School.
Could hear you tossing and turning all night, kiddo. You've got no business going to school.
Nancy pulls away, determined.
I gotta go to school, Mom, please. Otherwise, I'll sit up there and go crazy or something.
Marge studies her face for a
I'll
moment.
sleep in study hall, promise. I'd rather keep busy, you know?
She absently drains the woman's coffee cup and then pecks her cheek.
Right home after.
Right up after. See ya.
Marge watches the girl disappear outside, then lights a cigarette from the one already burning in her mouth and her fingers. Exterior, street, day. Nancy cuts through the back streets, her usual route. She eyes a man on the corner, then another. Odd, she thinks to herself. She never sees people in this path. As she passes a large brush, she feels a presence behind her, then a hand. Nancy spins around to find Rod, dirty, bruised, and terrified. Nancy opens her mouth to scream, but he grabs her.
Nancy, wait. I'm not going to hurt you. I just got to talk to you.
He releases her warily.
Your old man thinks I did it, don't he?
He doesn't even know you. Couldn't you change?
The cops were all over my house. They'll kill me for sure.
Nobody's gonna kill you.
I never touched her.
You were screaming like crazy.
Nancy says this without accusation, just cool observation.
Somebody else was there.
The door was locked from your side.
Rod grabs her hand. His muscular body tenses.
Don't look at me like I'm some kind of fucking fruitcake or something. I'm warning you.
Morning, Mr. Lane.
The boy jerks around. Lieutenant Thompson stands behind him, a .38 caliber in his hand.
Now just step away from her, son. Like your ass depended on it. I'm warning you.
Rod backs away, looking once at Nancy with a look of terrible sadness. Then he dives out of the bushes and runs like hell. Thompson snaps his revolver to fire, but instinctively Nancy comes between them.
No!
Thompson jerks his gun into the air, furious.
Jesus, are you crazy, Nan?
He plunges past the girl. Exterior, street, day. Rod races like a frightened animal across the lawns, but it is soon cut off by the two men Nancy saw earlier. They wrestle him to the ground as Thompson and Nancy approach. One of the men pulls out his knife and waves it in the air. Thompson looks at Nancy as if to say, "I told you so." Rod is escorted into the squad car. Nancy watches, guilty.
I didn't do it. I didn't kill her, Nancy.
The car's door slams and Rod is gone. Nancy turns to her father, livid.
You used me, Daddy.
What I want to know is why the hell you were going to school today. Your mother told me you didn't even get any sleep last night.
Nancy spins angrily and walks away.
Hey, Nancy, come back here.
Fade to black. Interior classroom day. An English teacher drones on as the students try to stay awake, especially Nancy.
According to Shakespeare, there was something operating in nature, perhaps inside human nature itself, that was rotten, a canker, as he put it.
The teacher's eyes glance across the room and fall on Nancy. She yawns. He raises an eyebrow.
Of course, Hamlet's response to this and to his mother's lies was to continually probe and dig, just like the grave diggers, always trying to get beneath the surface. The same was true in a different way in Julius Caesar. John, go ahead.
He nods to a surfer who's been waiting uncomfortably in front of the class. He squints at his book and begins. The recitation, a struggle between baked and salted brain and the poetry of the bard.
In the most high and palmy state of Rome.
California is the most high and palmy state, dude. The surfer halts with a grin. Kids snicker.
Can it?
He stares at them until they return to silence. The surfer starts over. At this point, Nancy begins nodding off, barely able to keep her eyes open in the warm, close boredom of the classroom.
In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ear in the mightiest Julius fell.
Nancy's head pitches forward. She jerks it back up, barely awake.
The Grace too tenantless and the sheeted dead just squeak and gibber in a Roman street.
Nancy's head has sunk again, eyelids drawn as if by enormous weight. By the time her cheeks against the desk, the surfer's voice is echoed and distant. As it fades away, another voice fades in.
Nancy.
Nancy gives a start. Her eyes lock onto something outside of the classroom. There, standing in a black pool of fluid, is a full-size rubber body bag. Dark red and green. Something inside is moving. Nancy looks to her classmates. No one notices. She cautiously approaches the body bag when slop, a bloody arm falls out of the bag. Nancy stumbles back. The arms begin dragging the bag across the corner of the hall.
Nancy.
Nancy begins running to chase it, but when she rounds the corner, bam! She smashes straight into a body lunging at her from the opposite direction. Both go down. A dazed freshman holds himself up on one elbow. He wears a plastic plaque on his red and green sweater that reads Hall Guard. His nose is bleeding from the impact. You're not supposed to run. Where's your hall pass?
Screw your stupid pass.
Nancy gets up and continues running until she hears a voice that makes her freeze in her tracks.
Oh, Nancy.
She turns around to see the hall guard standing up, bones cracking and creaking, blood pouring out of every orifice.
No running in the halls.
Nancy hauls ass down the hall. Interesting. And turns the corner into interior boiler room day. She turns around confused, only to find that the school hallway is now hundreds of yards behind her. She looks down at her feet. The smear trail is there. It runs behind a cracking red-hot boiler the size of a diesel locomotive. The laughing sends a shiver down her spine. As she rounds the corner, she sees him, Tina's killer.
Who are you?
I am what you allow me to be.
Nancy shivers in fear, something that seems to embolden the man. He becomes an aura, and his presence glides towards her, filling the room. She hears a noise behind her and spins to see him obscenely staring at her, almost hungry. He licks one of his fingernails, splitting his tongue, freeing an army of maggots. They pour onto her. She screams and darts away, but when she rounds the corner, the floor begins falling apart, tile by tile, into a red-hot abyss. She goes down, catching herself on the edge. She tries to pick herself up, but the ledge she holds starts heating up. Her hand begins burning, skin bubbling. She can't hold on any longer. She falls, screaming. Smash cut to Nancy jolting out of her sleep, screaming, huddled in the fetal position in her seat. The English teacher rushes over, frightened by the terror in the girl's eyes.
Okay, Thompson. Everything's all right now. Nancy!
Nancy looks around, seeing the sea of staring eyes. She hurriedly begins picking up her books.
Would you like me to call your mother?
No, really, I'm fine. I'm gonna go straight home. I'm okay.
She marches towards the door.
You'll need a hall pass!
Exterior, the school, day. Nancy walks out of the building, shaken, walking all over the shade of a large tree. She pauses and starts to shake. The next second, she's sobbing like a broken-hearted, frightened child. She wipes the tears away and feels pain jolt up her arm from her hand. She looks at her palm and finds a raw red burn. We slowly push into her reaction. Pure horror. She wraps her hands into a fist. Smash cut to, in the same framing, a fist smashes on a counter. Interior, police station, day. Nancy slams her fist on the front desk.
Well, hello to you too, mija.
I need to speak to my dad.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Thompson emerges from another room, uneasy to see Nancy.
Decide to take the day off after all, hun?
Dad, I want to see Rod Lane.
Whoa, only family allowed, man. You know this drill. You know the drill. Come on.
I just need to talk to him for a second.
He's dangerous, babe.
You don't know he did it.
No, I know. Thanks to your own testimony that he was locked up in a girl who went in a room alive and came out in a rubber bag.
Nancy flinches. Her father shows the first signs of color in his neck.
I just want to talk to him. Please, Dad.
Thompson eases up against his better judgment. He nods to Garcia, who starts flickering through his keys.
Listen, make it fast, okay?
Interior cell area, day. A guard exits pushing a cart of food trays. Nancy waits warily until he's gone, then looks back to Rod Lane. Rod looks like a captured coyote, more like a captured coyote than a human, haggard, ribbed, expecting poison bait. His hair is wet. His clothes are borrowed jeans and a work shirt.
And then what happened?
I told you. It was dark, but I'm sure there was someone else in there, under the covers with her.
How could somebody else get under the covers with you guys without you knowing it?
How the fuck do I know? I don't expect you to believe me.
Nancy studies him. Surprisingly, she looks like she just might believe him. She leans closer with a new thought.
What do you look like? You get a good look at him?
No.
Well, then how can you say somebody else was there?
Because somebody cut her. Well, I watched.
Now the place is so quiet you can hear heartbeats.
Somebody cut her while you watched and you don't know what he looked like?
Rod pushes out with an exhausted laugh.
Ha!
Coming to terms with the reality that no one will buy his story.
You couldn't see the fucker. You could just see the cuts happening all at once.
What do you mean all at once?
I mean, it was as if there were 4 razors cutting her at the same time. But invisible razors. She just opened up.
By now, he's picking at the dark blood clot on his jacket. Then he catches Nancy watching and turns away into the back of the cell. He smashes his fist into the wall, jolting Nancy to attention.
Rod!
He stops. His fist is dripping blood as he says in a small, sad voice,
I probably could have saved her if I just moved sooner. But I thought it was just another nightmare, like the one I had the night before. About the guy who had knives for fingers.
Close on Nancy, unable to swallow. Rod turns to her, and to his surprise, she's ashen.
Do you think I did it?
No.
Fade to black. Exterior, Nancy's home, night. A well-kept 2-story suburban house. It's Nancy's. Interior, Nancy's kitchen, the same. Marge cleans the table. One plate is reasonably empty, the other untouched.
What's going on with kids today?
She sneakily takes a swig of her gin and begins cleaning the plates when the bathtub can be heard turning on upstairs.
Nancy?
Interior, Nancy's bedroom, same. Nancy lays in her bathtub, finally taking a moment to relax.
Don't fall asleep in there.
I won't.
Get into bed.
I will.
Nancy's in the tub, so drowsy she can hardly rinse without falling asleep. The water in the tub is opaque with suds, luxurious. Her eyes droop. She slides closer to the surface of the water, letting its heat soothe her nerves. Her breathing slows. As she drifts off to sleep, a bubbling starts between her legs. No, it's not that kind of bubbling, you children. 4 shining, gleaming blades begin rising out of the water, and then the full glove. It begins inching its way towards her when...
Nancy?
Marge raps on the door. The instant she does, Nancy jerks awake. The dark, wet hand is gone.
What?
You're not falling asleep, are you? You could drown, you know.
Mother, for Pete's sakes.
What happens all the time? I've got some warm milk ready for you. Why don't you jump into bed? I'm going to turn on your electric blanket now, too. Come on.
Warm milk. Gross.
She slides down to water level again. She blinks for a second longer than normal. When her eyes reopen, she's jerked with an incredible force straight down beneath the surface of the tub, now a bottomless well. Exterior, underwater shot, same. Nancy's being pulled beneath the water, the surface quickly shrinking until it looks like a peephole. She kicks the hand pulling her and struggles towards the surface, almost on her last breath. Marge rushes to the door and listens, alarmed at the wild splashing audible through the locked door.
Nancy? Nancy!
Marge's voice reaches Nancy, who thrusts up through main force and breaks the surface with her head and shoulders. Gasping and choking, Nancy breaks the surface of her water. Marge picks the lock with an old hanger and bursts into the room.
I told you, hundreds of people drown like that.
Nancy sits on the floor directly facing the audience. Marge throws a towel around her, drying her like a child. Nancy looks like she's paralyzed with some sort of weird dream. We slowly pull out. Smash cut to Nancy's bedroom. Nancy's in the same position, now in bed with Marge's overbearing presence. We continue pulling out.
No television and forget the homework, no phone calls.
No, mother. Yes, mother. No, mother.
Marge hands her a yellow pill. She pops it in her mouth and swallows obediently. Marge leans to her with a kiss.
Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite.
Marge goes out, relieved. Nancy closes the door, leans against it, and spits the pill into her hand. She tosses it straight to her window and takes a no-doze. Fade to black. A monster movie in black and white. No sound from the set. We see Nancy propped up in bed, intensively watching. Or is she just thinking? A bedside clock reads 2:45. The girl yawns. She shakes herself violently and sits up straighter. Then, bam! She jumps to her feet to find Glenn balanced precariously on the rose trellis outside her window.
Sorry your light on. Thought I'd see how you were.
She composes herself.
Sometimes I wish you didn't live right across the street.
Shut up and let me in. You ever stand on a rose trellis with your bare feet?
She lets him in. He crosses to the chair and plops down.
So, I heard you freaked out in English class today.
There's no maliciousness in his voice, and the familiar frankness is actually comforting to Nancy.
Guess I did.
Haven't slept, have you?
Are you saying I look like shit?
What? No, you look amazing, baby.
She looks to herself in the mirror. She looks like shit. As she looks, she notices a strand of gray hair. She runs over, jaw dropped.
My God, I look 20 years old. You have any weird dreams last night?
Slept like a rock.
Well, at least I have an objective wall to bounce this off. Do you believe it's possible to dream about what's going to happen?
Of course not.
You believe in the boogeyman?
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. No, Rod killed Tina. He's a fruitcake and you know it.
You believe in anything?
I believe in you, me, and rock and roll, though I'm not too sure about you lately.
Nancy thinks.
Listen, I got a crazy favor to ask.
Uh-oh.
It's nothing too hard or anything. I'm just going to look for someone, and I want you to be sort of a guard. Okay?
Glenn makes the
Okay.
Okay. I think.
She comes very close to him.
You won't screw up, right? I mean, a whole lot might depend on it.
The way she's looking at him gives him the creeps.
Okay, I won't screw it up.
Nancy takes a deep breath. She's ready. Then, without another word, grabs the TV remote and turns towards the TV. From the perspective of the TV, she turns it off, and we cut to Elm Street, night. Nancy, still in her pajamas, is walking towards the shadowy streets near her home. Listening for the slightest sound, we move with her, but nothing, not even the dog barking earlier, is there now. Nancy peers into the darkness of lawns and trees behind her.
You still there?
Across the street and a distance away, Glenn steps from behind a tree.
Yeah, so?
Just checking. Keep out of sight.
Glenn throws up his hands in exasperation and walks back out of sight. Nancy turns and looks down between the houses, deep into a dark alleyway. Nancy emerges from the hallway in front of the police station.
Still there?
Still here.
On your toes, right?
Nancy stares into the dark, trying to see him, but she can't. She turns back and makes up her mind and moves without him in sight. Exterior police station, night. Nancy moves cautiously to the back of the police station. Holding cell windows can be seen on the ground level. She peers through one, empty. She looks to another, an old man. She moves to the next one and finds Rod sleeping in his cot. He's twitching and sweating profusely. A guard approaches, and she notices that her shadow is being cast into the room. She hides for a second, narrowly missing being discovered. She moves back into position, but finds that her shadow is still there. She holds back a gasp. It begins to envelop the room and changes color to red and green. The familiar glove begins materializing out of the wall. Nancy draws back sharply, swallowing in terror. She looks behind her for help.
Glenn?
No answer.
Glenn?
The street is absolutely deserted. There is no motion. The only sound audible is the unmistakable sound of Glenn snoring.
Glenn!
A beat of silence. Now its echo dies, and the steady, boyish snores again. Nancy swears under her breath and jerks back around, forcing herself to look into Rod's cell again. There he is. The killer picks up Rod's bedsheet and begins tying it. Without thinking, Nancy bangs against the glass.
Rod, look out!
The killer wheels around, locking eyes with Nancy. The girl goes white. The man's face is in the light, and it's horrible, seething with hatred and a twisted, insane intelligence. The hold of those eyes is only broken when Rod rolls up on an elbow with a deep, troubled groan. The instant Rod does this, the killer fades into the shadows in the cell. But even then, his eyes hold on Nancy until the last second he's visible. Rod looks around the cell groggily, runs his fingers through his matted hair, and then collapses back on his pillow. The killer, materializing out of the shadows again, is holding the sheet between his hands like a noose. He looks up and flashes a perverted smile at Nancy, then moves for Rod. She turns, desperately looking for Glenn.
Glenn!
Turns back to the cell in desperation, only to find Rod sleeping peacefully. She falls back, stunned.
But
Suddenly, Nancy feels utterly exposed. She shivers, chilled and vulnerable to the bone in her thin night clothes. She hears the unmistakable metallic scratching. She forces herself to turn around and to seize a figure, perhaps 25 feet away, covered with a thick plastic body bag through which we can barely make out the face of Tina. Nancy backs away, eyes streaming tears.
Glenn, where are you? Wake up, gosh darn it! Glenn!
I'm here for you now, Nancy.
Nancy twists around in horror. At the same instant, the killer grabs her face, raising his gloved hand to strike. She opens her mouth to scream, but all that comes out is a jarring ring. Nancy reels up, screaming and fighting on her bed. Glenn instantly jumps into attention, being awoken from his own deep sleep.
Glenn, you bastard!
The boy looks at his friend in groggy alarm. She's absolutely livid, more angry than he's ever seen her, and more strange.
What'd I do?
He reaches for her. She flattens against the wall, eyes hard and terribly hurt, too.
I asked you to do just one thing. Just stay awake and watch me. Just wake me up if it looked like I was having a bad dream. But you shit. What do? You fall asleep?
Nancy?
A mother's footsteps can be heard approaching.
Oh, shit.
Nancy composes herself as best she can.
Yes, Mother?
Nancy mouths go to Glenn, who barrels out of the window. Marge, bleary-eyed herself, opens the door and flicks on the light.
You okay?
Yeah, just had a little dream. I'm falling right back to sleep.
Okay. If you need anything, just call.
Okay.
Marge closes the door. Nancy immediately sits up and looks at the window. In its reflection, she sees a red handprint around her neck. Exterior, police station, night. Glenn's Cadillac convertible careens into the parking lot and screeches to a stop. Glenn and Nancy jump out and head for the station.
You mind telling me what's going on?
Nancy races into the station without answering.
Oh, I see. That makes it all perfectly clear.
Interior, police station, night. Nancy goes straight to the sergeant's desk.
Garcia, I want to see Rod Lane again.
I thought when I took the night shift, I would have peace and quiet for a change.
It's urgent. We've got to see Rod.
It's 3 a.m, mija. Your mother even know you're out this late?
Of course. Look, at least go back and look at him. Just see if he's okay.
Garcia glances at Glenn.
Yeah, we have reason to think there might be something weird going on.
Oh, no argument on that.
Nancy jumps around at the sound of her father's voice. Lieutenant Thompson emerges from his office, rumpled and yawning.
Daddy, what are you doing here?
It just so happens I work here, hun, and there's an unsolved murder. And I don't particularly like unsolved murders, especially when my daughter's mixed up in. What are you doing here at this hour? You should be getting some sleep.
Listen, sir, this is serious. Nancy had a nightmare about Rod being in danger or something. And so she thinks.
He trails off, losing it under Lieutenant Thompson's glare. Besides, he doesn't know exactly what the hell's really going on himself. Garcia puts his beefy hand on Nancy's shoulder.
I just want to see if he's okay.
Take my word for it, mija. The guy's sleeping like a baby. He's not going anywhere.
This isn't your average nightmare. Daddy, damn it!
Now look, Nancy, don't push it. You already rub my nose in sex, drugs, and violence. Don't start rubbing my nose in insanity.
Nancy takes this one to heart. She wheels on him, pleads, intensity sobering even to him.
Just go back and check, please.
The man takes a beat, then shrugs and nods towards Garcia.
Wait, Lieutenant, you actually want me to check? All right. Now, where'd I put the key?
He mumbles back towards his desk. Interior rod cell. Night. All we see is the shadow of a man cast on the door. The sound of Sergeant Garcia's feet approaching can be heard, then a thud from the inside of the cell. The inhabitant of the cell begins breathing heavily and struggling. Garcia approaches the door and the shadow disappears. Cut to interior hallway, same. Garcia fiddles with the key. Nancy and the others impatiently wait. A long beat passes Nancy as Garcia searches through a huge ring of keys. He tries one, but it fails.
Shit, no luck. Hang tight, guys.
Nancy and Glenn look on urgently. Cut to interior rod cell, same. Choking and struggling can be heard. Another key is tried from the outside.
Now, I could have sworn it was the black one.
Cut to interior hallway, same. Garcia is still searching through his keys.
Please, Garcia, we need...
Here it is.
Cut to interior rod cell, same. The key turns, but the lock isn't open. With a terrible snap, the struggling finally ends.
This is the one.
Garcia raises the key to insert, but it falls out of his hands.
Fuck that. Dang keys. They're always slipping.
God damn it, I'll open it.
Cut to interior rod cell, same. Nancy bursts through the cell and the group go eye wide. We rack focus to see Rod's foot dangling. He's dead.
Goddamn loco kid. I wish there was something I would have gotten here sooner, Madre de Dios.
They untie Rod and lay him on Nancy's feet. Nancy's father looks at her in spooked suspicion.
How do you know he's gonna do this, hon?
Nancy says nothing. Fade to black. The fourth day. Exterior forest lawn cemetery day. On a hill of pristine grass overlooking the valley, the casket of Rod Lane is lowered into its grave. A small group of family and friends watch soberly as the minister raises his hand in benediction.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. May God be with this young man's soul.
On the faces of Marge, Lieutenant Thompson, Tina's mother, and Rod's parents. Just for a second or two, In looks too rapid for an outsider to even notice, these adults exchange looks, furtive, quick glances that suggest an immense something that they all share, something beyond even this second death among their children. Then they are all staring ahead again, as if the others weren't even there.
His life and his death attest to the scripture's warning that he who lives by the sword shall die by the sword.
That's so rude. Glenn watches while Nancy stands alone with a glazed stare.
But let us also recall our Lord's admonition that we judge not, lest we be judged. Let us attempt only to love, and may Rod Lane rest in peace.
Amen to that much.
The mourners walk away from the grave, Marge among them. She pauses near a man and two women in black, Tina's mother and Rod's parents. Marge hurries on. Lieutenant Thompson meets her. Both are worn and on edge. Thompson absently lights another cigarette, offering one to Marge. She accepts.
How's Nancy doing?
I don't think she slept since Tina died. She's always been such a delicate kid.
Thompson lights her cigarette, attempting some sort of nonchalance.
Look, she's tougher than you think. Any idea how she knew Rod was going to kill himself?
No, all I know is this reminds me too much of 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, let's not start digging up bodies just because we're in the cemetery.
He gives her a look that could cut stone. Marge tosses down the cigarette and crosses to Nancy. The girl is simply staring off over the valley.
Right. Time to go home, baby.
They walk towards Marge's car. Marge opens the door of the old station wagon for Nancy. Nancy turns to them both, speaking in a still, small voice.
The killer is still loose, you know.
You saying somebody else killed Tina? Who?
Nancy smiles a weird sort of smile.
I don't know who he is, but he's burned. He wears a weird hat, a red and green sweater, real dirty, and uses some sort of knives he's got made into...
Okay. All right, honey. That's enough.
She closes the door in Nancy's face. Marge and Lieutenant Thompson's faces have drained of all color. They don't share a word for an awkward second.
I think you should keep Nancy at home for a few days, till she really, is over the shock.
I think I've got something better.
Fade to black, it's drugs. The fifth day. Exterior, UCLA School of Medicine, day. A sign on the door reads, UCLA School of Medicine. Interior, a laboratory sleeping chamber. A nurse applies sensors to Nancy's head, breasts, arms, and fingers. Nancy lies in a simple cot in a stark white room. It's cold, scientific. A large window set into one wall hides an observation room beyond.
But I just don't feel ready to sleep yet. Please, do I have to?
Pull out to reveal that we're now on the other side of the window, revealing Dr. Stephanie King, a not-so-middle-aged professor, intelligent and inviting. He treats Nancy at all times like a young adult, never patronizing. He winks as the nurse finishes.
Don't worry. You're not going to change into the Bride of Frankenstein or something.
Nancy manages to smile, but she's haggard and visibly thinner. Marge, back in the background, looks downright distraught.
Nancy have any severe childhood illnesses? Scarlet fever? High temperature? Concussions?
No, nothing.
He means, did you ever drop me on my head?
Nightmares are expected after psychological trauma. Don't worry, they go away.
I sure as hell hope so.
I don't see why you couldn't just give me a pill to keep me from dreaming.
Well, it's not quite that simple, Nancy. Everyone's got a dream. If you don't dream, you go, woo! All set?
No.
They're just simple tests, man. We'll both be right here.
Look, I know it's been frightening. I know your dreams have seemed real. But it's okay, okay?
Please, Nancy, trust us.
The girl gauges her mother, the doctor, and the situation very carefully, then lowers her eyes.
It's not you I don't trust. It's... Okay, let's do it.
Greatly relieved, Marge shoots Nancy a loving smile. As soon as her mother is out of sight, Nancy's eyes drift to the window itself. In its reflection, she sees herself looking back, alone on the bed. Dissolved to Marge and Dr. King overlooking Nancy's sleeping chamber through the window, and King monitoring the girl even more closely with a bank of instruments, a mass of glowing dials, graphs, and meters. His manner with Marge is slightly more sober.
Now, how long's this been going on?
Since the murder, she was fine before that.
Not to worry. No signs of pathology in Nancy's EEG or pulse rate. I'd guess what we've got here is a normal young girl who just happens to have gone through 2 days of hell.
It's all just made her think her dreams are real.
King adjusts the dial, watching the EKG like a hawk.
You ever hear the old Buddhist tale about the king who dreamed he was a beggar? Who dreamed he was a king?
Marge raises an eyebrow. There's a slight alteration in the sound of the EKG. King nods in satisfaction.
Okay, good. She's asleep.
Thank God.
Nancy, now asleep, can be seen on the TV monitor. Marge lights a cigarette, angry at her helplessness.
What the hell are dreams anyway?
Mysteries. Incredible body hocus pocus. Truth is, we still don't know what they are or where they come from. As for nightmares, well... by the way, you ever hear about the Balinese way of dreaming?
The what?
A monitor beeps before Dr. King can answer.
What happened?
She's entering deep sleep now. Heart rate's a little high due to anxiety, but otherwise she's nicely relaxed. All normal. She could dream at any time now. Right now, she's like a diver on the bottom of an ocean no one's mapped yet, waiting to see what shows up.
Marge shoots him a bewildered, sassy look. Interior, the sleeping room. We can see Nancy drift off from the initial stage over the brink into deep sleep. Her hair falls into her eyes. Her face relaxes. Her shoulders curl around her like comforters. Interior, control room, day. Dr. King and Marge watch the instrument's every move. One of the machines begins a slight chirping. King scans it, liking what he sees.
Okay, she started to dream.
How can you tell?
REMs, rapid eye movements. The eyes follow the dream. Their movement picks up on this.
He prods a dial with his pencil and scribbles the time on a note.
Typical dream parameter. A nightmare now would be plus or minus 5,000 or 6,000. She's just around the 3 point.
He stops. Outside, visible through the glass, Nancy twists around. Eyes still closed, she's nevertheless holding her head in attitude of prey, listening to the first faint sounds of the predator's approach. Marge looks from her daughter to the doctor, color draining from her face.
The hell is this? Is she awake or asleep?
Hey,
The needle of the graph gives a jagged pitch up, plunges, then surges well above the 8,000 mark. King stares at the gauge in disbelief, rapping his fingers on his glass.
Can't be. It never gets this high.
The needle swings even higher.
Jesus H. Christ! It's over 9,000!
9,000?
She's cut off by the high-pitched keening of the girl, the sound cutting through the double thickness of the glass like a laser. Warning beeper has begun. The instruments light up like a Christmas tree. And outside in the sleeping room, Nancy is contorting as if shot through 1,000 volts. King knocks over his chair in his sprint for the door. Interior sleeping room. The doctor and Marge burst into the room. Nancy flailing and screaming as if the devil himself were after her. King grabs her to shake her awake and she gasps, jolting straight up in the bed. The nurse and Marge dare to go back in and hold the sweat-drenched girl as Dr. King comes up for her with a syringe.
Now, this is just going to let you relax and sleep, Nancy.
With incredible swiftness, Nancy backhands the syringe into a far wall, shattering it into a million pieces.
No, that's enough sleep.
Her eyes are windows straight into white fire as she locks into King's face. He dabs his split lip, swallowing painfully.
Okay, kid. Okay. Fair enough.
He holds out his hand. Nancy at last takes it and sags back into her pillow, exhausted. Then King comes up with blood in his hand. He stares at it dumbfounded, then at the girl. Across her left forearm, a deep gash is bleeding freely, as if made by a very sharp instrument.
Oh my god, oh my god!
Get the kid.
The nurse scrambles away as the doctor claps his hand over the wound. He looks into Nancy's face. What he sees frightens him even more. Nancy's haunted, ghost-like eyes turn from him to her mother, and a terrible, chilling smile opens across Nancy's white lips.
You believe this?
She pulls her free arm from beneath her sheets and reveals a strange hat, filthy and worn. The sight of it frightens Marge even more than anything that could come before.
How did you get that?
I grabbed it off of his head.
Nancy raises the hat, showing off a patch that reads, Freddy Krueger. Fade to black. The 6th day. Interior, Nancy's kitchen day. Marge is on the telephone, the dirty hat in her hand. Nearby is an empty bottle of gin.
She said she snatched it off of his head in a dream. No, I'm not crazy. I've got the damn thing in my head. Yes, I know we did. I was there. I gotta go.
She hangs up and stuffs the hat and bottle into a drawer. Nancy enters. By now, the girl has an extraordinary look. Her hair is ashen, her skin translucent, and eyes dark ringed. Her right forearm is severely bandaged over the slashes.
You didn't get any sleep, did you? The doctor says you have to sleep or you'll...
Nancy pours herself a cup of black coffee.
Go even crazier?
I don't think you're going crazy. And stop drinking that damn coffee.
Did you ask Daddy to have the hat examined?
I threw that filthy thing away. I don't know what you're trying to prove with it, Nancy, but...
Nancy comes closer, her eyes shining with a new sureness.
What I learned at the dream clinic. That is what I'm trying to prove. Rod didn't kill Tina, and he didn't hang himself. It's this guy. He's after us in our dreams.
But that's just not reality, Nancy.
Furious, Nancy rips open the drawer before Marge can stop her and spills the bottle and hat onto the counter. Marge grabs away the bottle protectively, but it's the hat Nancy goes for. She waves it triumphantly, demonically.
It's real! Feel it!
Put that damn thing down.
Marge lunges for it. Nancy leaps out of reach.
His name is even written in here. Right here! Fred Krueger! You know who that is, Mama? You better tell me, because now he's after me.
Marge swallows, then persists in the lie.
Nancy, trust your mother for once. You'll feel better as soon as you sleep.
Nancy shoots a hard, humorless laugh, holding up her slashed arm.
You call this feeling better? Or should I grab a bottle and veg out with you, avoid everything happening to me by just getting good and loaded?
Marge slaps her hard.
Fred Krueger can't get after you, Nancy. He's dead.
The room falls silent, both women staring at the other.
Fred Krueger is dead. Dead and gone. Believe me, I know. Now go to bed.
Marge snatches the hat away. Nancy is furious, betrayed.
You knew about him all this time, and you've been acting like he was someone I made up?
You're sick, Nancy. Imagining things. You need to sleep. It's as simple as that.
Nancy wheels and smashes Marge's bottle of gin in the sink.
Screw sleep!
Nancy!
But Nancy runs past her mother for the front door.
Nancy, it's only a nightmare.
Nancy slams the door. On the slam, we cut to exterior Shakespeare's Bridge day. Nancy and Glenn walk across the bridge.
Whenever I get nervous, I eat.
And if you can't do that, you sleep.
Used to. Not anymore.
Glenn jams more Big Mac into his face. By now, our Zoom reveals he's attacking a huge bag of Big Macs and furtively eyeing Nancy. The girl's hair is startlingly white in the sunlight. She's reading a book, hardly paying attention.
You ever read about the Balinese way of dreaming?
What?
The Balinese way of dreaming. They got a whole system they call dream skills. So if you have a nightmare, for instance, like falling, right?
Yeah.
Instead of screaming and getting nuts, you say, okay, I'm going to make up in my mind that I'll fall into a magic world where I can get something special like a poem or a song. They get all their art and literature from their dreams. They just wake up and write it down. Dream skills.
And what if they meet a monster in their dream? Then what?
They turn their back on it, takes away its energy, and it disappears.
Sounds like it'd make a great setup for a cult classic sequel to a beloved horror series that a lot of people in the community love, but I personally don't care for.
At least it can be as bad as introducing telekinesis in a seventh movie of a series about killing horny teenagers.
She shrugs and leans over the railing, poking her face back into her book. Glenn tips its cover and reads its title.
Booby traps and improvised anti-personnel devices.
I found it at this neat survivalist bookstore on Ventura.
Well, what are you reading it for?
I'm into survival.
She walks away out of frame, leaving Glenn watching after her in astonishment. Exterior, Elm Street, Nancy's home, evening. Outside of Nancy's home, a group of construction men load up a truck. The foreman, an Italian man with a gold chain and fat cigar, inspects the job. And the other? Marge forks over a wad of cash, hand trembling in her half-drunk, helpless rage.
Why are they so thin?
The foreman counts the money swiftly. Listen, don't bust my balls, Toots. If the city found out I put them in without releases, I lose my license. You're going to have to deal with what you got. He shoves the money in his pocket and climbs in his truck. Marge exits frame for her house. The truck pulls away, revealing Nancy across the street, alone. She lifts her eyes to her house and stops in her tracks.
Ah, gross.
We see that she's looking at every single window having been covered with brand new ornamental iron bars, bolted deeply into their frames. Interior, Marge's house, evening. Easy listening music wafts through the air.
Mom, what's with the bars?
She appears in the doorway.
Mom.
We see Nancy's perspective. Marge is propped up against the headboard, a bottle of gin in her hand.
Security.
Nancy sits on the bed, a surprised compassion entering her voice.
Mom, I want to know what you know about Fred Krueger.
He's dead and gone.
I want to know how, where. If you don't tell me, I'm going to call Daddy.
Your father, the cop. That's a good one. So forget Fred Krueger. You don't want to know, believe me.
I do want to know. He's not dead and gone. He's after me. And if I sleep, he'll get me.
Marge blinks at her for a moment, then cracks a terrible, crooked grin.
All right.
Interior, Nancy's cellar, night. Marge drags Nancy headlong down the cellar stairs and across the room with a crazy fury, twisting her down near the foundation. She thrusts her face so close to her daughters that Nancy reels from the alcohol.
You want to know who Fred Krueger was? He was a filthy child killer who had at least 20 kids. Kids from our area. Kids we all knew. It drove us all crazy when we didn't know who was doing it, but it was even worse when they caught him.
Marge draws herself up with a shake.
The lawyers got fat and the judge got famous, but someone forgot to sign the search warrant in the right place, and Fred Krueger was freed just like that.
So, he's alive?
Marge smiles grimly.
He wouldn't have stopped, man. Bastard would have got more kids the first chance he got. They found nearly 10 bodies in his boiler room as it was, but the law just couldn't touch him.
At the mention of boiler room, Nancy gives a shake. Marge misses this, too busy taking a pull on the bottle that's never left her hand.
What was needed were some private citizens willing to do what had to be done.
She reels slowly, looking at Nancy in defiance.
What did you do, Mother?
Marge cradles the bottle.
A bunch of us parents tracked him down after they let him go. Found him in an old boiler room again, just like before. Saw him lying there in that his red and green sweater he always wore, drunk and asleep with his weird knives by his side.
Go on.
Marge reaches over and taps a dusty two-gallon jug of gasoline near the lawnmower.
We poured gasoline all around the place. the trail out the door, lock the door, and then whoosh.
Her arms shoot up and her eyes go wide with the light of the fire. There's an awe in her voice. Then she drops her arms.
But just when it seemed that not even the devil could live in there anymore, he crashed out like a banshee, all on fire, swinging those finger knives every direction and screaming that he was going to get us by killing all of our kids.
She stops with a sudden quake and drinks for a long moment. But the intake doesn't hide the image. Her face bathed in tears. She looks at her daughter and shakes her head.
There were all those men, Nancy, even your father, and him, but none could do what had to be done. We were rolling and screaming so loud, the whole state could hear him. No one could do what had to be done and take your father's gun and kill him good and proper except for me.
She sweeps her hand across the air in a terrific slash, then stops, her hand shaking, her voice hoarse and terrified. She looks at her daughter, begging.
So he's dead now. He can't get you. Mommy killed him.
Who was there? Were Tina's parents there? Were Rod's?
Sure, and Glenn's, all of us, but it's in the past now, baby, really. It's over. We even took his knives.
The woman twists around and opens the door to an old furnace. A furnace unused since the newer gas ones nearby was put in. She fishes inside the cavity and pulls out an object wrapped in rags, opens it and displays a long, rusted blades with a glove-like apparatus.
See?
Nancy stares at the damn things, chilled.
All these years, you've kept those things buried down there? In our own house?
It's proof he's declawed. As for him, he buried him good and deep.
Marge shoves the knives into their hiding place and closes the little iron door.
So it's okay. You can sleep now, Nancy.
She lurches up and staggers upstairs. Nancy shivers and looks down at her arm. The cut beneath her bandage begins to bleed again, and from inside the furnace, as if from deep below, the pulsing of the boundless nightmare boiler room can be faintly heard. Exterior Elm Street, night. Wide on the street and both houses. Glenn on the right, Nancy on the left. A telephone rings. Zoom in on Glenn's upstairs bedroom window. Interior, Glenn and Nancy's bedroom. Intercut, night. Glenn, yawning, crosses and picks up his telephone.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Nancy looks out the window and touches her hair.
Fine. Stand by your window so I can see you. You sound a million miles away.
In the lighted window across the street, we can see Glenn move into sight. In his shot, we can see Nancy step into her window behind the bars.
Much better.
I heard your mom went 8 at the security store today. You look like the prisoner of Zenda or something. How long has it been since you slept?
Coming up on the 7th day. It's okay. I checked Guinness. The record's 11, and I'll beat that if I have to. Listen, I know who he is.
Who?
The killer.
You do?
Yeah, and if he gets me, I'm pretty sure you're next.
Why would anyone want to kill me?
Don't ask. Just give me some help nailing this guy when I bring him out.
Bring him out of what?
My dream.
How do you plan to do that?
Just like I did the hat. Have a hold of the sucker when you wake me up.
Me? Wait a minute. You can't bring someone out of a dream.
If I can't, then you can all relax because it'll just be a simple case of me being nuts.
I can save you the trouble. You're nutty as a fruitcake. But I love you anyway.
Good. Then you won't mind cold cocking this guy when I bring him out.
What?
You heard me. I grab him in the dream. You see me struggling, so you wake me up. We both come out. You cold cock the fucker, and we got him. Clever, huh?
You're crazy. Hit him with what?
You're a jock? You must have a baseball bat or something. Come to my window at midnight. Meanwhile...
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, whatever you do, don't fall asleep. Midnight.
She hangs up. Glenn's eyes bug out.
holy shit. Midnight. Baseball bats and boogeyman. Unfucking real.
Exterior police station night. Lieutenant Thompson arrives in an unmarked car.
Lieutenant Thompson, what are you doing in at this time?
Can't sleep. Thought I'd come break up the poker game.
The cop laughs and goes his way. Thompson's smile evaporates. Thompson enters and checks the log. Sergeant Garcia pours himself some coffee nearby.
If it was any more quiet, could hear the owls farting.
It's quiet, isn't it?
How's the girl?
She's sensible. She'll sleep sooner or later.
Exterior Elm Street night. The neighborhood is utterly still. Most of the houses are already dark, but not Nancy's or Glenn's. Interior Glenn's living room night. Glenn's father watches 11 o'clock news. A dreary war documentary plays. Mr. Lance takes a sip of his tea.
You'd think they have something about the lame kid hanging himself.
Mrs. Lance walks through the room, drying her hands on a dish towel.
Maybe we're all making more of it than we should.
She heads upstairs. Mr. Lance pops the automatic tuner. Carson blinks on. I wouldn't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. Ed McMahon and the audience laugh in delight. Interior, Glenn's house, upstairs, corridor, night. Mr. Lance comes along the upstairs hall and knocks gently on the closed door.
Glenn? Glenn, are you all right?
She puts her ear to the door and listens.
Glenn? Honey?
No answer. Interior, Glenn's room, night. Glenn lies sprawled across the bed, long legs flung over the end, headphones on his head. He doesn't notice her approaching. Mrs. Lance crosses and pokes him in the ribs. Glenn lurches up, arms windmilling.
What?
He refocuses his eyes, takes off his headphones.
How can you listen to Carson and record at the same time?
Glenn swings his legs over the edge of the bed and shakes his head to clear the cobwebs.
Wasn't listening to the two, just watching it. Miss News America is supposed to be on tonight.
Well, how are you going to hear what she says?
Who cares what she says?
Mrs. Lance rolls her eyes.
Well, you should get to sleep soon, love. It's almost midnight. Goodness knows we've all had enough of a time the last few days.
Yeah, I will, Mom, in a while. You guys turning in?
Pretty soon.
His mother sighs and
Great,
goes
then get
out.
the fuck out of my room.
His mother sighs and goes out, closing the door behind her. Glenn really has a shitty attitude. He flips the TV back on and glances at the clock. It's 11:42. Glenn clamps the headphones back on and turns the volume up high. The music is so loud we can hear it resonating inside his skull. The camera zooms out of his window too. Interior, Nancy's room, night. Marge sits at the edge of Nancy's bed, stroking her hair. Nancy's still something of a wreck, but less than Marge.
Well, go away. Take a vacation. Get your hair colored all nice the way it was. No one will ever know. This whole room smells of coffee, you know?
She gathers up Nancy's coffee cups and empty nose-dose boxes, leans down and kisses her.
It's all over now, baby. The nightmares are over. Please.
Nancy nods her head, half stubborn, half sadly. She can barely keep her eyes open now.
Okay.
She scrunches into her pillow. Marge smiles haggardly and shuts off the light, taking the coffee pot with her as she leaves.
Night-night.
Marge smiles, relieved. The girl pulls the blanket around her shoulders. Her eyes flutter closed. Her breathing becomes regular and deep. Once again, she's a little girl Marge fantasizes she is. The mother tiptoes out of the room, closing the door behind her. As soon as the door closes, her eyes go open wide. She quietly jumps out of bed and shakes herself savagely to scatter the sleep settling in so quickly. She guzzles down a hidden cup of coffee and changes her clothes. She's ready to get that burnt old fuck. Cut to exterior, Glenn's house, night. Glenn's father stands at the front porch of his home, also in the shadows, looking straight across and up at Nancy. He draws on his cigarette. His face glows, and then he throws it on the ground.
You shouldn't stare.
He turns to find Mrs. Lance standing at the doorway.
Know what I think? I think that kid's some kind of lunatic.
Shouldn't say such a thing about that poor child. I mean, if you mean talking about the bars, Marge's just being cautious. Her being alone and Nancy acting so nervous lately.
Mrs. Lance enters the house, closing the door behind him.
Well, she ain't gonna hang around our boy no more.
Interior, Nancy's room, night. Close on Nancy's face. Her eyes stare ahead, red-rimmed, anxious. She picks absently the thick bandage covering her forearm. The long cuts from Freddy Krueger's fingers are bleeding again, but she doesn't even care. She looks to the clock. 10 minutes to midnight. She stares at her phone, then at Glenn's window.
Come on, Glenn.
Interior, Glenn's room, night. Glenn's head is dropping, fighting the urge to sleep. He checks the clock. It's not 12 a.m. yet.
Nancy, this can't happen soon enough.
He raises the volume on his Walkman. It's to no avail. His eyes start drooping almost immediately. Interior, Nancy's room, night. Absolutely frustrated, Nancy sneaks down to her front door. Marge is passed out on the couch. She carefully tries the lock. The door is open. She looks around, hoping to see Glenn. He's not there.
God damn it.
She closes the door and runs back upstairs to the window. She looks across the street. Nothing. She grabs her phone. Cut to interior, Glenn's room, night. Glenn's phone rings off the hook. Rack focus to Glenn, now sleeping in his bed. Interior, Glenn's living room, night. Ringing here, too, just as Mr. Lance is turning off the lights for bed. He stops in the dark, scowling.
Who at this hour?
He refuses to turn the light back on. His wife picks her way to the phone.
Hello? Oh, hold on. It's her. She wants to talk to Glenn.
About what?
What's this about, Nancy?
She listens, then covers up the phone again.
She says it's private. Very private and very important.
Mr. Lance grabs the telephone from his wife and barks into it.
Glenn's asleep. Talk to him tomorrow.
He slams down the telephone with a grunt of satisfaction to his wife.
Just gotta be firm with kids is all.
Then, as a refinement, he takes the phone off the hook and lays it on the table. Interior, Nancy's room, night. Nancy dials again. This time she gets a busy signal. She slams the phone down in frustration and looks out the window.
Glenn, don't fall asleep.
She goes and sits at the bed, propping her chin on her fist, yawns. The telephone rings. Nancy snatches it up.
Glenn?
All that can be heard from the other phone is an awful, scritching scrape of steel finger knives. Nancy slams the phone down as if it were diseased. Then, in pure rage, rips the thing from the cord of the wall. Spent instantly, she puts the receiver back on the cradle and lays it on her bed, chiding herself.
Brilliant. Now what if Glenn calls?
She wraps the phone cord around the useless machine and puts it on her bed, then sneaks down to the door. This time she gives an expression of relief and opens it. Marge is gone. Then the telephone rings again. Nancy cautiously grabs it, raising it to her ear.
Hello?
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
The mouthpiece changes to a normal telephone mouthpiece, to an actual mouth, Freddy Krueger's mouth, and his long, slick tongue flicks out and darts into the startled girl's mouth. Nancy explodes from her micro-dream, absolutely mad. She jerks the telephone away from her and smashes it against the wall, then attacks it with her feet and hands, smashing it to smithereens.
I'm awake! This is not a dream.
She stops. Her eyes go wide as she realizes what Krueger meant. Interior, Nancy's living room, night. Nancy barrels down the stairs and across the darkened living room to the front door. It takes her a moment of tugging and fumbling to realize the deadbolt has been locked from the inside. She races to a porch window and throws it open, shaking and banging on the bars like a mad woman, but there's no getting through. She staggers back, stymied and furious. Then someone moves behind her in the dark.
It's locked.
Nancy jumps around in shock. Her mother has posted herself on the couch with her bottle.
Give me the key, Mother.
I don't even have it on me, so forget it.
The word is final. Nancy runs past the woman to the back door, to one window after another, shaking bars and slamming locks and screaming in teenage fury to no avail.
Pay that guy damn good to make sure you stay put. You ain't going nowhere, kid. You're gonna sleep tonight even if it kills me.
Nancy clenches her fists and screams at the top of her lungs.
Glenn!
Smash cut to interior Glenn's room night. Glenn lays on his bed. Nancy screams but a whisper in the wind. He squirms in his sleep, slightly disturbed. Then with tremendous force, two powerful arms shoot up beneath the red and green bedspread and grab Glenn around the waist. Next moment, the young man's body is dragged straight into the bed, as if sucked into a sinkhole. There's hideous screams. Glenn's, then in a wholly sudden silence. Next moment, what's left of Glenn is vomited up through the pit from the nightmare bed. A horrible mess of blood and bone. Drawn by the terrible screams and struggling, Glenn's mother bursts into the room. The woman stares for one moment of horrified disbelief, then reels back and lets out the most god-awful scream imaginable. The cry splits the night. Exterior, Elm Street, night. The sound of scream crossfades with the wail of an ambulance as it screeches down to a halt on the curb, followed by two police cars. Lieutenant Thompson and Parker exit the unmarked car. By habit or by premonition, Thompson glances at the house that was once his home. His eyes are caught by a movement. His daughter is at the upstairs window, white-haired, hollow-eyed, looking down at him through the bars. She gives him a little wave. Unnerved, Thompson waves back, then walks rapidly for Glenn's home. Mr. Lance, pale as a ghost himself, waits on the porch. We can hear his mother's wailing outside. Fade to black. The 9th day. There's a babble of police stations, sirens winding down, running footsteps, shouts, neighborhood kids and dogs barking as the camera lifts to Nancy's face. Set, unafraid, ruthless. The girl pulls the window shade on it all, then looks at her bed.
Okay, Kruger, you bastard. We play in your court.
Interior, Glenn's living room, Nancy's kitchen, intercut. Lieutenant Thompson is halfway through the living room when he stops. Something dark and red is welling from a crack in the ceiling. One of his men is raking a bucket beneath to catch the leaking. The telephone rings and Parker picks it up.
Yellow, got it. Lieutenant, it's your daughter. Says it's urgent.
Look, tell her I'm not here. Tell her.
She just saw you, sir.
Thompson nods, crosses, and picks up the telephone.
Hello, Nancy.
Hi, Daddy. I know what happened.
Yeah, you know more than I do. I haven't even been upstairs yet.
You know he's dead, though, right?
Yeah, apparently he's dead. How did you know?
I've got a proposition for you. Listen very carefully, please.
Man, listen, I
Please,
don't really...
I'm going to go get the guy who did it and bring him out to you. I just need you to be right there to arrest him. Okay?
Just tell me who did it, and I'll go get him, baby. We don't
Fred
gotta...
Krueger did it, Daddy, and only I can get him. It's my nightmare he comes to.
Where'd you hear about Krueger, hun?
I want you to come over here and break the door down exactly 20 minutes from now. Can you do that?
Sure, but
That'll be exactly midnight. Time for me to fall asleep and find him.
Sure, honey. You do that. You get yourself some sleep. That's what I've been saying all along.
And you'll be here to catch him, right?
Lieutenant, they're waiting upstairs.
Sure, yeah, okay, I'll be there. Now you just turn in and get some rest, honey. Please, deal?
Deal.
Nancy hangs up. Lieutenant Thompson starts upstairs, but then he stops. As an afterthought he can never really explain, he turns to Parker.
Parker, get outside and watch your house. If you see anything funny, call me.
Anything funny like, what?
I don't know. One thing's for sure. I don't want her coming over here. She's way too far gone to be able to handle something like this.
Yeah.
Cut to interior, Nancy's kitchen, same. Nancy sinks back against the wall, trapped by her own resolution. She looks at her watch. 5 past midnight. Nancy switches modes to stopwatch and sets the countdown going at 25 minutes. Interior, Glenn's bedroom, night. Lieutenant Thompson steps into Glenn's room, anxious to be done with it. He hits a wall of stench and horror even before he takes it in with his eyes. And as soon as he sees the bed, he claps his hands over his mouth, pivots, and walks right back into the hallway. Interior, hallway, night. He sags against the wall, unable to look at the cops who hover him.
What the hell did that, Lieutenant? There ain't even a head left.
God damn if I know. What's the coroner got to say?
He's in the John. He's been puking since he saw it.
Interior, cellar, night. Nancy pulls tools and hardware out with grim resolution. Hammer, nails, spool of wire, an old square of heavy fish netting, some old shotgun shells, and a file referring only once to the booklet in her hand. Interior, Nancy's living room, night. Nancy tolls away at a MacGyver-like trap. Wires, light bulb with gunpowder, etc. She screws the bowl back into the floor lamp and places the thing near the foot of the steps. She's ready to get that old burnt fuck. Interior, Nancy's bed, Nancy's room, night. The girl enters, turns out her bedside light, slips out of her dress and puts on her nightgown. Then she kneels by her bed.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take.
She gets into bed and pulls the blanket to her chin. She stares straight up at the ceiling for a long moment, then closes her eyes. Cut to interior, Glenn's living room, night. Lieutenant Thompson trudges down the stairs and confronts Glenn's father.
Look, Walter, I know it's hard to think at a time like this, but can you think of anybody who could have done such a thing?
He done it.
Who done it?
Kruger.
Kruger?
Had to have done it. No one else was there.
How do you know that?
Because I thought Glenn was going to sneak out to see your lunatic daughter, that's why. So I locked him in his room. Sorry. Anyways, the door was still locked when we heard the screams. Maybe God's punishing us all.
Listen, keep your head, Walter. This is a fucking flesh and blood killer we're talking about.
Like Rod Lane.
A voice calls from upstairs.
Lieutenant Thompson, Coroner wants to show you something.
Thompson gives Mr. Lance one final look, then heads upstairs. Cut to interior, Nancy cellar, night. Nancy appears at the top of the stairs, hesitates, then comes down. As she descends, the light becomes more and more red, and the walls become more and more decrepit. We hear a distant sound of the boiler room, faint but unmistakable. At the foot of the stairs leading to the boiler room is a bloody object. She reaches down now and picks it up. It's Glenn's headphones. She swallows and composes herself.
Come out and show yourself, you bastard!
No sooner are these words off her lips than the huge hulk of Fred Krueger lurches up behind her. The man is even more hideous. He's hatless, his bald head and tormented face veiled in skeins of ruined flesh, his ragged teeth bared, the great spider of razor blades flashing from its fingertips. He leaps, but the girl leaps just as fast, a fierce jump that sends her over black space and down to a huge dark sump of blackness. She lands in front of a door, bruised but okay. As she reaches for the door, Krueger crashes down on top of her. Nancy struggles to get to her knees, just as the man lunges with that god-awful hand of blades. But instead of running, she ducks inside the deadly hand full of blades and seizes him in a desperate bear hug. The surprise move sends him pitching backwards, her still on him, and they fall into the rose garden beneath the window. Almost at that very second, we hear the jarring, deafening ring of Nancy's alarm clock. Smash cut to interior Nancy's bedroom, night. Nancy sprawls out of her bed onto the floor, twisting from the jabs that already vanished thorns, briars, and brush. She recovers as quick as she can, snatching up the net, ready for an assault from any direction, but the room is empty. Hardly able to catch her breath, her hair tangled, her nightgown torn, she drops the net. She sits on the bed, turns on the bedside lamp, and re-examines her room. No one there but herself. It's a terrible blow, despite the fact that she's safe. Her face is covered with tears. She's shaking and breathless. She rattles her head in confusion and despair, realizing her own madness.
I'm crazy after all.
At the very instant, Fred Krueger leaps up from the far side of the bed with an explosive shout of rage. He lunges across the table for her, missing by inches as Nancy pitches backwards and scrambles for the window, but she's stopped by the bars. Krueger, incredibly fast, regains his feet and leaps again. The girl wheels and shatters the coffee pot over his head. As he crashes backwards, Nancy flings open the door of her room and dives through, only to rebound off someone on the other side. Marge, knocked flying by Nancy's charge, hits the floor hard, knocking the wind out of herself. Nancy sees what she's done, jumps over the body and slams the door and throws the new bolt home. The next instant, she gingerly ties a string to the door's knob, a string that trails down from the ceiling, attached to something up there that's still just barely out of sight. She drags her mother towards the woman's bedroom as fast as she can. Krueger is already splintering the doorway behind her as Nancy dips and makes it into Marge's room, slamming the door behind her and locking it in a flash. The maniac breaks the bolt and rips open the door, but in the very act of doing this, he of course unknowingly pulls the string attached to the outside doorknob with terrific force. The string jerks against a single-edged razor, which in turn cuts a tight wind of cord holding a heavy wedge of steel into the ceiling. It falls free and drives straight into Krueger's groin with a terrific blow. As he catapults backwards with an incredulous shriek, the 20-pound sledgehammer swings back and slams Krueger to the ground. Nancy bursts through her mother's door, and he brings a brass lamp over Krueger's head with all her might. She slams the door behind her as Krueger recovers from the fall. Cut to exterior, Elm Street, Nancy's home, night. Nancy jerks open the window to her mother's bedroom and jams her face to the bars. She screams, trying to make herself heard.
Help! Hey, Daddy! I got him trapped! Where are you?
Angle on the street. Parker, assigned to guard the house, sees Nancy, hair white, eyes wide, pounding on the bars and screaming like a lunatic. But her meaning is utterly lost in the noise of the ambulance next to him.
Everything's gonna be all right. Everything's under control.
Go get my father, you asshole!
Parker does a little double take. This almost sounded sane.
You heard what I said. Now get back inside or I'll tell your dad.
She looks at him dumbfounded.
That's literally what I'm asking you to do!
Behind the door splinters. Nancy whirls around just in time to see Krueger bull in. Nancy's eyes go wide. She's trapped against the bars and has nowhere to go. The man bunches his knives into a single thick blade and rushes her, stabbing. Nancy closes her eyes, then splat! She opens her eyes to see her mother hanging onto Krueger's weapon hand, which has impaled her.
Mom, no!
Nancy, for God's sake, run!
But Nancy turns to the window instead, screaming for her father.
Daddy, where are you?
Exterior, Elm Street, night. Parker, just about to turn back to the business at Glenn's house, sees Nancy and someone else fall just inside the window. Something begins to dawn on the man, just a little.
Poor woman's got her hands full with that kid. Maybe I better tell the lieutenant.
He turns and jogs towards Glenn's house. Interior, Marge's bedroom, night. Krueger hauls Marge up in a rage, knocking her senseless across the room and climbing after her with his knives raised. Nancy wheels behind him and whams him in the kidneys with her fist, spilling him back off the bed, then running past him for the door. She makes it to safety, then turns back. She flips at the monster, the bird, her eyes wild with pain and fury.
Hey, fuckface! Can't catch me!
The bait works. Krueger leaves Marge and howls after Nancy. As Nancy clears the hall and makes for the stairs, Krueger lurches through the shattered doorway after her. The girl careens down the stairs, across the room, and to the front door, banging against it with terrified fury.
Come on, he's in here! Daddy! Don't let him get me too!
Behind her, the huge man is thumping down the stairs, knocking things over, scraping his long steel fingernails across the wall with horrible sound. Nancy flings a heavy ashtray through the porch window and screams through the bars.
Help, Daddy!
Krueger, bloody and spewing threats, staggers for her. He steps on another wire, completing the circuit with a crackling spark. The floor lamp next to Krueger explodes, knocking him sprawling across the floor. Nancy runs to the window and screams out again.
Daddy! Hey, I got the
Kruger roars up behind her and she dodges a stab. She runs down the stairs to the cellar, throwing on the lights, the man thundering after her. She grabs an object behind the furnace before the scraping of the blades against the brick makes her turn to see the huge killer holding his knife-laden fingers up for her.
Ready for these?
She reveals a big jug of gasoline that she throws straight at his head. The heavy container shatters, showering its components over every square inch of the man. He staggers backwards with a roar of fury. Nancy's screaming after him with a box of kitchen matches. Before the man can realize what she's up to, she ignites the whole box and throws it to Kruger's face. There's a blinding whoosh, and Kruger goes up in a terrific ball of fire. She runs to the stairs and slams the door closed behind her. Interior, Glenn's upstairs hallway, night. The coroner, played by Jhownee, steps out of the bathroom, peeling bloody rubber gloves, pale and sweating.
Found you something, Lieutenant. Should remind you of something.
The man shoves out his hand to Lieutenant Thompson. Thompson stares at it without touching. A long, thin steel blade, razor sharp, attached to some sort of ring and armature, broken off.
Only place I ever heard of such a thing before was 10 years ago. Remember that fucker, Fred Kruger?
Lieutenant Thompson's eyes go wide. He dashes through the door, knocking into Parker.
Hey, Lieutenant, your daughter's acting kind of strange.
Exterior, Nancy's home, night. Nancy breaks another window and presses against the bars. The house shudders and glows orange behind her. She sees her father bursting out of the front door of Glenn's house.
Dad, get us out of here!
Oh, Jesus, Nancy. Hey, we got a fire.
A group of police officers batter the door down as black smoke pours from the windows, and Nancy screams and shouts fill the air. Within moments, they've destroyed the door, and Lieutenant Thompson has pulled his daughter into the safety of his arms. But Nancy immediately fights free and darts right back to the front door, beckoning him to follow, gesturing like a wild woman.
I got him! I got Fred Kruger!
Thompson stares at his wild little girl in astonishment, then runs in after her. The others follow, coughing and choking. Interior, living room, night. Thompson collides with Nancy as she breaks, frozen. The smoke is belching out of the cellar, but whoever was locked in there certainly isn't now. The door is flat on the kitchen floor.
What the hell are you talking about, Nancy?
Nancy wheels around without answering. A series of tiny, isolated fires burn across the living room and up the stairs. Fire steps.
He's after Mom, come on!
She darts across the living room, following the flaming footsteps of Fred Kruger as the stairs up the stairs before Thompson can stop her.
Nancy!
Nancy stops in the splintering doorway. A ragged gold red light splashing her hard face. Fred Kruger, literally a man of fire, has a screaming Marge pinned up to the bed and is crawling all over her. Nancy gives a banshee's howl, snatches up a chair and brings it down over the back of the fiery beast, stunning him. By the time Lieutenant Thompson races in the room, Nancy seized a heavy blanket and is thrown over both of them, fighting the flames. The father joins his daughter without a second thought, heaving another blanket over the bed and smothering the last of the flames.
He's under there! Watch it!
Thompson pushes the girl back, yanks out his .38, and pulls off the first cover. No movement. He pulls back a second one, ready to fire, but the only thing he sees is the blackened half-skeleton of his ex-wife, smoking and seething and sinking into the fluid-like mattress, sinking right down through it as if it were sinking into a lake. A blackened, gnarled hand goes last. Then the bed solidifies over the place she's disappeared, and it's as if no one was ever there. Nancy turns and looks at Lieutenant Thompson, her face white as her ghostly hair. Thompson shoves his .38 in his holster and finds a cigarette, his hands shaking so badly he can barely manage.
Now do you believe me?
Parker barges in. The room is filled with smoke. The bed is stripped, but other than that, the place seems normal.
You find them? Sir?
Lieutenant Thompson just walks by him. Parker chases after.
Sir, here, let me light that for you. Lieutenant, what happened?
Nancy turns her head to find that she's now alone in the room. She turns and looks at the bed. It's changed color, now an ash-darkened red and green. Kruger rises out of the doorway, a burned, sizzling black hump of a killer. Nancy falls absolutely still. goes through a strange, almost sublime transformation.
I know you're there, Kruger.
She turns and faces him.
You think you was gonna get away from me?
Nancy shakes her head.
I know you too well now, Freddy.
And now you die.
There's a slickering rattle on his side. He raises the only thing on him not charred, the gleaming steel talons. Nancy simply shakes her head again.
It's too late, Kruger. I know the secret now. This is just a dream. You're not alive. The whole thing is a dream. So fuck off. I want my mother and friends again.
You what?
I take every bit of energy I ever gave you. You're nothing. You're shit.
And then she turns her back on him. Kruger bunches his fingers, producing a single ragged bunch of razor talons, and raises his hand over the back of her head and neck. Nancy closes her eyes and steps to the door. Kruger stabs down right at the back of her head and neck. Kruger stabs down right through Nancy as if she were an optical illusion, losing his balance and falling down, down, down. And he's gone. Cut to exterior Elm Street day. Nancy jerks her front door open and blinks in the bright, diffused light. We hear birds, children playing, early morning sounds.
God, it's bright.
Marge sticks her head out, squinting, and nods sober.
Kind of burn off soon, or it wouldn't be so bright.
Nancy turns and looks to her mother.
Feeling better?
No, they say if you bottomed out when you can't remember the night before. No more drinking, baby. Suddenly, I just don't feel like it anymore.
She touches Nancy.
Didn't keep you up last night, did I? You look a little peaked.
Nancy smiles.
No, just slept heavy.
The girl gives a wave and goes off. Marge calls after her.
See ya.
Nancy turns and waves.
See ya.
Nancy walks to the curb. The whole scene is wrapped in an unseasonal tulle fog, bright yet diffused. We notice that Nancy's house no longer has bars on its window. We see a familiar convertible pull up to the curb, top down. Tina and Rod are in the back seat. They all wave to Marge as Nancy climbs in.
You believe this fog?
I believe anything's possible.
Tina slaps 5 with Nancy.
Looking good, girl.
Glenn slips into the seat next to Nancy, but someone else is driving, it seems. Nancy looks up to the driver. The big man turns and grins at Nancy. A terrible, scarred, hideous leer of grin. Fred Krueger's grin. The convertible's top clamps over the kids within. A bright red and green top that closes as fast as a bear trap. Nancy's frightened face flies to the window, pressing against the thick glass as the car roars away from the curb into the thick fog. As the car speeds down the road, a group of little girls, half hidden by the fog, jump rope and sing gaily. 1, 2, 3, he's coming for you. Fade to black.
Oh.
Yay! Let's all give ourselves a round of applause.
This one, a lot of work on this one.
This one was a lot.
A journey.
It's funny because this one is actually like a lot of pages shorter than I know what you did last summer, but it feels so much more dense.
There's so much more action, right? Like there's just like
Oh yeah.
things happen with no dialogue.
Yeah. It's like a lot of things happening and we're just sitting here like
Yeah, right. Pulls mom into door, lol. True.
Oh man, I
to get you, Barbara.
Like half of the stuff
Good.
happening, we can't even act it out here. So we're just like,
Well, it's so funny because there's so much that's in the script that's not in the movie. Like,
yeah,
Oh
I
my
know.
God, yeah.
So weird. Pulls mom doll into door. Oh yes, that should that would have been funny. We should have just got a doll and threw it.
Should have got a whole mannequin.
God.
yeah. What do you think our budget is?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you buying us the props? I'm kidding.
Listen, I bring my own. I got the fake blood. I got my Freddy glove.
You got my white hair.
The worst part about the Freddy glove is it makes it impossible to actually be able to play the piano. So
Oh, really?
you guys are gonna have to play it now.
You know what? We didn't know.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
That
Sorry,
looked
guys.
very easy.
I mean, you can just be like, here you go.
So true, and it looked so bad.
You can tell.
How are you on this fine evening, newbie? Oh my goodness. Wow, I feel like that was a lot, you guys.
Newbie, just born and ready to defend the queen.
God damn it. That was. I feel like I've been like emotionally attached to this script now. I've been like working on it for so long.
Well, yeah, we've been working on it for like a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, don't tell them that. No, this is the
That's
first
the-
time we read this.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
no rehearsals.
No,
we
no,
had
no,
no
no.
rehearsals.
This is
We
just
wing it.
Bussin'.
Winged it.
All
the
improv.
pussy.
We
Actually,
didn't do like 4 or 5 rehearsals.
we didn't actually read the script. This was just us kind of riffing.
We just jumped into it.
It's off our memory.
It's in the moment.
But yeah, I mean, this script is like it's one of those ones that just has like so much going on. It's a lot of just like
Mhm.
a lot of heavy
Visuals.
like narration and stuff. So
He's a big visual
It
guy.
is.
Very much so.
Breven.
Yeah.
but
Feel like there was a lot more dialogue in I Know What You Did Last Summer for us.
yes, definitely. I think
It seems
so.
like more narration heavy. And you cut a lot
Yeah.
out, so
Yeah, but, like I want to say like over 10 pages of narration.
yeah,
It was
that's
like
crazy.
reading a book.
Oh, thank you so much. I've never seen you here before. Can you tell me your name?
Well, if a sense says we pull it off, I believe it.
I guess now at some point we're gonna have to do
Brandon. Nice to meet you, Brandon. Happy to
Brandon.
have you here.
welcome. We're gonna have to do the sequels now. All
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Oh yeah.
I think
Oh.
I can pull off a good Mark Patton.
Oh, I want to be Mark Patton. Who doesn't want to be Mark Patton in that movie?
Everyone just plays Mark Patton.
Oh,
Like,
icon.
Yeah.
Icon.
Selis plays from page 1 to 5. I do it from 6 to 10. Rocco.
Mm, multiple
Yeah.
Mark Pattons.
Wait,
That's
wait.
a Tory
Actually, I rescind my role. I want to play Horny Freddy.
Oh.
I love Horny Freddy. I think that was my favorite part. Robert Englund explaining that scene. He just like went so in for a scene that was like 2 seconds long. I love it.
That was so
I-
good.
I want to play Freddy's son, the little kid.
Boo.
You know, Dylan, I haven't even seen that one. I'm
The
scared.
Dream Child? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's
I
I
haven't seen-
probably my least. Well, I mean, Freddy's Dead is pretty uninspired, but
I haven't seen Freddy's Dead. I know. Horror community is gonna kill me, but
it's really
Cancel.
just like let's euthanize the franchise. Like that's really what it is.
was it like self-aware or was it just like it's a bad movie?
So it's a little bit self-aware. There's like I remember there's a sequence in it that's like Freddy in a video game styled nightmare, which is kind of inventive. That's the highlight of the movie. Otherwise, it's really just like, let's kill Freddy so that Freddy can't come back anymore.
So I guess that would technically happen. Oh no, Power Glove. Now I'm gonna have to watch.
I'm gonna have to watch this. Phil.
Oh my god!
We only got the Dream Warriors, and that was as far as we got.
Hey girl, how are you?
We're back.
Allie Watts, she's got the power.
So I know that Dylan is new here, so I'm gonna put Dylan on the spot. Dylan, you're new here, so
Initiation.
did you enjoy prepping for this role?
Sure. Yeah, it was fun. No, it's honestly, it's been a pleasure working with you guys. Like I'd never met Jhownee and Melissa before this, and it's been so fun getting to know you all. And I'm very honored to have been a part of this TableScreams.
Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad that you had a good time.
Of course.
As for Jhownee and Melissa, what would you say has been your favorite role to play? This role or last month?
Oh, this one was harder for me, actually.
Was it? You did it great.
Yeah. Thank
Like
you.
my
It was
my
harder.
scene with you on the phone is my favorite scene in this whole thing.
My favorite.
Aw. Melissa?
Honestly, I don't know why, but this one scared me even way more than I Know What You Did Last Summer. I feel like that one I was kind of more like, okay, whatever. But then it's like, I don't know, I had like a lot riding on my back with this one because it's like, I really like this movie and I don't want to fuck it up.
It's a
And
good
it's like-
movie, right?
Getting that shit in the
Right.
back of my head like nonstop, and it's I feel
And
that
it's
was,
like your
my main thing.
favorite slasher, so like it
Exactly.
freaks
That's
you
my
out.
boy. Freddy's my baby.
Yeah. Like I feel like we could never do a live reading of Halloween because that's my favorite slasher, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't be
Also-
Laurie Strode.
That one is so visual too. Like that one
It
is.
is.
Oh yeah.
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 You would lose. Like the dialogue is probably, I don't know, 20 pages long.
Oh, 100%. I feel like most of those movies are.
Yeah, very action focused.
Yeah. But you know what? We made this work.
Yeah. I would play Michael Myers. Actually.
This is a great point. He is silent,
Yeah.
so it'd be really weird.
So it'd be the perfect role for me.
We actually. Oh, heavy! You guys want heavy breathing?
Oh
Oh.
god.
Oh shit, why did I remove it? Ew.
You gotta donate to the channel for that.
You know what, guys? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get
Sweet
another drink.
spooky ASMR is coming,
I know, I
guys.
want
Don't
some
worry.
water.
Be
I want some
back.
McDonald's.
Be back.
Ooh,
friend.
no, okay. Every time we read that scene, it was like propaganda. I like every single time
Oh, shit.
we got
Which
it.
scene?
Oh, cameo! Hi-yo! Bussin'. Anyway, so every time we get to that scene, I always am like, "Fuck! I could use a Big Mac right now." So
Dude, I'm hungry for a Big Mac right now.
Damn. What's up?
The
But,
good news: McDonald's open 24 hours a day.
oh, that's
Over
fuck.
there, over here they close.
Hey,
that
Yeah.
Lamine's
Upper
here.
West Side, baby.
God damn
Lamine's
it.
here. What up? By the way, and this one goes out to everybody. These Bud Light seltzers are great. I swear to God, we're not getting sponsored, but if Bud Light wants to
Not
sponsor us,
sponsored by Bud Light.
sponsor me, Bud Light.
Sweet and Spooky is sponsored by Dos Equis. Do you want to be the most interesting man in the world?
Selis has the most bougie metal straw ever. I love it. That's what living alone is. That's like when you move in with your partner. That's what you do. You just buy weird stuff. Ooh, this one's good. I like the gray hair look on you, Selis.
Oh my god.
That is cute.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
ginger snaps.
Oh, I think she wants to go with you.
Oh, okay. Hey, lad.
She's ready to do ginger.
Lamine is in the house.
You're
I've considered getting gray highlights now. I'm just
You
gonna be
should.
Ginger Fitzgerald.
Wait, is her name in the movie really Ginger Fitzgerald? That sounds like a
Ginger
fake
Fitzgerald.
actor name I would come up with.
Yeah.
Michael Wilson's cousin.
Ginger and Bridget, yeah.
Hi, Lamine. How are you?
So yeah, I you know, when doing this one, I was like, what other horror classics could we do? Hey, Lev. And one of them that Selis brought up a while back was Bride of Chucky,
Oh my god.
which would be a lot of fun. I think we should do that one day.
Tell
I'm sorry
me
to
in the
say
chat
that-
if you would like to see
Yeah.
that, please.
I'm sorry to say I cannot play the role of Red Man.
You know, actually, when
That's
I-
Seed of
movie,
Chucky.
pal.
Now-
Would
now
not
I-
work.
Seed of
I-
Oh,
Chucky.
is that Seed of Chucky?
That's
Seed.
Seed.
Okay.
That's my favorite one in the series.
Ooh, Alien.
Really?
That's
It
a
is.
good
Alien,
one.
Alien would
Good
be
one.
fun, actually. And Alien, you know, was written without genders in mind for the characters, so they
Even
were
better.
all
Damn.
yeah.
Yes, thank you, Lamine. I didn't know you like Alien. I love that movie.
Perfect movie.
Lamine, you
Fun.
missed it, baby, but you can see it later. It's gonna be up.
Yeah, it'll be up when this is over.
But thank you for coming through. Also, I love your picture on here. Fancy with the piano.
Bloodbath and Beyond. You know them, right?
Hell yeah.
I do.
Oh, I got the girl now. I got the girl on my lap.
Oh
Here
my god.
goes the girl.
Well, now we got to do Pet Cemetery.
Oh, that's a good one. We have
Oh.
an actor.
How iconic. Hi, Lev.
Say hi.
That's my cat, Lev. For anyone who was wondering, like, what I'm saying when I say 4.5 Levs out of 5, it's that girl.
Girl.
This
It's
is a
that
Lev.
girl.
She's so heavy. Oh my god.
Jonesy.
Newbie. Tom. Okay, I'm with this, but like, you have to be a part of it. Let me know.
Blazing the
A lot of
stake here.
characters in that one, yeah.
I would love to have you come on as a narrator, Tom.
I will be playing the role of the Xenomorph.
I want to be the face hugger. Oh, I forgot to turn
Oh,
on the
I
reverb.
missed this. Do
Okay,
any of
let's
you
do-
know who Bloodbath and Beyond is? Yes,
Yeah.
I'm good friends
answered
with
that
Jay.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, Jay's
I thought
hilarious. Like-
you were asking me, and then I was confused.
Yeah, I thought that like Jay joined the chat or something, and I was like,
I know. I was
oh.
like, I don't see Jay.
This is what I said. I'm the people's princess.
Can I fangirl real
yes,
quick
yes.
over
Yes.
you?
we are blessed right now.
I am so happy. We'll
Yes.
talk. We'll talk.
Yeah. Booked and blessed.
Booked and blessed.
Ooh, what are your thoughts on Halloween Kills? Now this is gonna get us really canceled in the horror community.
Mm.
I'm
Because
excited
it's
for it. I
positive.
don't know.
I'm excited.
I'm
Nice.
so excited. I
I like
have
Halloween
avoided the
2018.
trailer though.
Yeah.
I
I
very
think-
yes.
controversially think that 2018 is my favorite Halloween movie. Now let me explain.
Really?
Yes, not that I think it's necessarily the best, but because 1978 or was it 78 or 77? I'm thinking of Star Wars. It's 78,
78.
right?
78.
Mm.
78, yeah. 78's great, but it when you watch it back now, it definitely feels like a movie from the 70s. And it's great. I love it. I think it's a great movie, but I felt like Halloween 2018 had the essence of it, but just modernized,
Yeah, I think 2018 was definitely like the best Halloween movie to come out since the original. I missed it in theaters, so I feel like I kind of missed the power of it. I watched it on a Blu-ray rip on my laptop, which is not the ideal way to see it.
That's very Dylan.
Yeah, for sure.
I know.
Hey, you want this download of this Japanese movie from
That is so Dylan.
1975 that there's only
Dylan
14
has just
copies
sent us
of?
random movies, and he's like,
I
"Hey,
know
if
when
you
I get
guys
the
want to
week-
see it,
I know when I get
I
the
do.
2 GB WeTransfer, there's gonna be some craziness in that.
yeah, some weird shit."
1.2
What can you
gigabyte
fit in
WeTransfer.
2 gigabytes?
Believe me, you don't want to know.
Oh, this is a
Rob Zombie
great
Halloween.
question. Oh
Ooh.
my gosh. Okay. Let's go down the line.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Rocco, you go
boy.
first. Rocco, have you seen it?
Yes, we watched it when we were teenagers.
Oh, okay. I
And
don't remember.
I think I fell
Knocked.
asleep. I'm sorry. It was a good movie. I
You
enjoyed
fall
it.
asleep during every movie.
I know. All right.
he
so-
does.
It's not. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, it was better than the original. It's not, or it's even close to the original. It's not. It was a movie. It was entertaining, I guess. Like I didn't love it. I also approach things like without the headspace of the community or like the fandom in mind. So like when I say something like, oh, it's only because that's like I'm not taking into consideration how everybody else feels. So I enjoyed it. I wouldn't watch it over the original though now, or 2018, or basically any other one before like Halloween 4.
Damn, even
Okay.
the one with what's his face with Tara Banks.
Oh, you know what?
That's Resurrection.
You know what? I said that my number one was Halloween 2018.
And
I'm
Busta
saying correct.
Rhymes.
With Busta Rhymes. I almost said LL Cool J, and I was like, wait, no, that's not
That movie is low key fun though. Like, let's be real, it's low key
Oh, yeah.
fun.
That was my favorite era when they would just take like some top 40 rapper or musician and just slap them in any movie. And it's like barely not a cameo. Like they're really just playing themselves. Or in the case of Redman and Seed of Chucky, they are playing themselves.
Have a good night, newbie. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming.
Thanks.
I'm telling you guys, Halloween
Yes.
age 20, Blood is Thicker Than Water, best movie title of all time.
Rocco, why'd you kick her out? She wants to go
No,
back with
she
you.
wanted to go.
Look,
in the
she's
theater.
at the door.
She's doing this thing where she goes back and forth.
Jhownee, what do you think about Rob Zombie's Halloween?
Oh, not a bad movie, but a terrible remake.
Wait, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Jhownee, because when I first saw this film, I went to the theater with my dad, and it scared the shit out of me. But I was also pretty young. But now,
Mm-hmm.
like at 25, rewatching it, it's a mess. I mean, it's a fine movie, but like, it didn't have to be called Halloween. We didn't have to do that. He
Exactly.
could have just made his own film, especially with part 2.
Yeah,
Like,
the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story about that little boy becoming a psycho and wanting to kill
Yeah.
everyone. It was good by itself. He didn't need to be called Michael Myers, and the movie didn't need to be a Halloween remake. That's the point.
I feel
So-
like if it was like that, then I would have liked it. Also, like Malcolm McDowell's in this film.
I will
King.
say,
Yeah.
Everything.
I feel like this is going to be a controversial take, like hot take, but I don't actually like. I don't think that usually works, but I don't mind when people do that, where they'll like take a movie and like completely change it. Like a great example is The Fly. Like that works so well. Even
Well,
though
I think that's the problem with Rob Zombie's Halloween is he doesn't really completely change it.
exactly he half-assed like.
I think
changes
it's I don't think it's a bad remake, but also there's so much of like I feel like Rob Zombie's problem a lot of the time is his movies have that feel of like you want to see something crazy freak like
Oh yes,
and
yes.
so like there's an unnecessary rape scene in Rob
Yes.
Zombie's Halloween
God,
that
yeah.
we don't need there. And also I mean the other funny thing is I think Rob Zombie's characters are all exactly like Rob Zombie. So
Oh my
like,
god, yes.
in
Dude,
Rob Zombie's
yeah.
Halloween 2, there's a scene where the teenage girls are working at a record shop and they put on MC5's Kick Out the Jams. Teenagers do not listen to that.
Yes.
Like, no,
Yes.
it's interesting you say
Oh
that
my
because I
God.
really feel like, and I like some Rob Zombie movies, I know, but like
Yeah.
he really is a great example of that like late 90s, early 2000s, all edge, no point, like writing style. Like he just is like, bro, you want to see something crazy, bro? And then it's like, cool. Is there a story otherwise?
Nah, but check this out.
You'll figure it out. I don't know.
he clearly likes exploitation, but he's also a mainstream
Yeah.
figure. So
It's he exists in that weird space. I feel like there's a lot of people that do what he does better in a vacuum. Like if you were like, oh, somebody who does exploitation, I'd say, XYZ does it better, or somebody who does, I don't know, remakes better or something. But I like some of his stuff. I like,
You like
Hospitality.
Rock does it better.
Ooh.
oh, that conversation. Oh man.
yes,
That's a whole
yes, I have seen Phantasm.
I have not.
I haven't either.
Ooh. Don Coscarelli actually follows my art page on Instagram, so I was like, you know.
Wow. Congrats, Melissa. That's awesome.
I know. I was like,
Yeah,
Hey, I
Phantasm
was
is
freaking out.
Phantasm is a crazy movie. It's I can't say I love Phantasm, but I I like things about it. I wouldn't really. I haven't really delved into the franchise, but I like Phantasm as a movie. I mean, the silver balls are really cool. The tall man is pretty creepy. You know, it's a good. I think it's a movie that's meant to like get younger people into horror. And I think if you showed it to a kid, it wouldn't like destroy their worldview, but they would be interested in horror.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it yet. I need to.
Melissa, did you see it? No.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen the first one. I haven't watched the other ones though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's of its time.
Okay. I don't know. So I'm just gonna say, I feel like I enjoyed Rob Zombie films a lot more when I was younger. I don't know what it is, but now I don't know. I just don't care. I know that sounds awful. If I were to pick, you know what? I'm gonna say Devil's Rejects for this.
Oh. Same.
Melissa?
I'm gonna say House of a Thousand Corpses.
That's a good one. Dylan?
Yeah, I'll say House. I mean, they're all kind of same level for me, but House of a Thousand Corpses was like a mission statement for him, so I think it's a solid choice.
Okay.
It's a tie.
Thank you, Boo. You're so
Oh my
sweet. Love you. Sorry, I'm so late
Thank
to the
you.
chat, guys. I read really slow. You guys know this. You're here with me every month.
You're getting there.
So sweet. Thank you. Do you like Jason X? Oh, honey, please watch my video. I watch all the Friday the 13th films, so you do not have to.
I have fun with Jason X.
I'm so fucking sorry, but like, no, please, no.
It's fun.
It's not, Dylan. No, you know what, Dylan? If you think it's fun, good for you.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Friday the 13th franchise, but Jason X, I'm like, okay, I see that they were trying to do something funny here. The other day, I suggested to Selis that we do, because nobody ever asked me to do an Irish character. I was like, why don't we do a leprechaun reading?
Wait, I actually am curious to read the script and see if it's actually like good to read.
I'm sure it's not great. But...
so you're gonna be the leprechaun?
I mean,
he has to be.
Your program. So.
We gotta read this. We gotta read this script. Oh, well, Lamine. I have not seen Mindhunters yet, but I think Jhownee likes that film.
Oh my god, that is on.
We're
our
gonna
list
see it. I'm gonna watch it.
I think next time, because Jhonee's been suggesting it for the last 2 times that we were picking from the list, and it never got picked yet. So
I haven't seen it.
LL Cool J in Halloween. Wait, is he in Resurrection or H2O?
I think it's H2O.
H2O. Yeah.
H2O.
He's like the security guard.
You know what?
Writer.
He was good though.
Yeah.
Like, good for him.
Don't forget Deep Blue Sea. Don't forget he was in Deep Blue Sea.
Yes.
I haven't seen it. I know.
Me neither.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's
Jhownee, we're adding that to the
put
list.
it on the list.
It's not horror. But
Adding to the list.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
It is horror. It is horror.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, sorry guys, I'm so slow. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh.
Roll. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. Okay. Rocco, you want to start?
I gotta tell you the truth. I don't remember any of the Saw movies.
Of course you don't.
I know that sounds like really
Okay.
out of character, right?
Yeah, we know. If you watch my channel, you know. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care about the Saw movies. The first one though will probably be my favorite because I thought it was cool. But then everything after that, I'm sorry. Jhownee?
Saw 6. Hands down.
Really? That's an interesting take.
Which one is Saw 6?
What the?
What the fuck just happened? What the fuck is going on in Brazil?
Oh my god!
Fireworks.
In your house? Like, what was going on?
It sounded like it was
it's in the
right next.
neighbor.
Oh my god!
That was
Really?
scary,
It's in the
low
neighbor,
key.
right here.
If
I
I
was
remember,
shocked.
if I remember correctly, Saw 6 is the one where they kind of end the franchise proper before they reboot it, right? No?
No.
Am I wrong?
No. This is the one where Jigsaw attacks the insurance health people.
Oh yes.
Wait,
that's a good
what?
call. That one's pretty good.
That sounds like a
It's like
joke.
Yeah, the
the
health
No.
insurance.
It's true. It's true. Because Saw 5 is pretty boring and bad, and then Saw 6 is a refreshing one after that.
Which is the one where he goes to the DMV?
Oh my god.
Who are
the
you?
Saw
To the DMV.
movies. Oh my
Working
god.
on my type 5 for the comedy.
Melissa, you have a favorite, right? It's like 4 or no, or 3 or something. I feel like you told me this.
You know, it's been a minute since I watched all of them, and I definitely think I skipped a few.
Mm.
So I really don't remember a lot of them. I have to revisit the franchise, not gonna lie.
Dylan?
It's been a minute.
Carter, your timing is perfect because I rewatched all of these in anticipation
Damn.
of the new one. And I would say the first is my favorite. I think it's the most inventive and original of any of them. But Saw 4 is a close second because I think that protagonist, I think his name is Riggs. I think he is the most interesting protagonist. And I think that one kind of, they established the formula by then, but that one just really gels. And I think that the bad entries in that franchise are due to bad pacing and, bad ideas.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck it's about, but I'm so excited.
I'm on
I'm
board.
so
You know-
excited.
Okay, so I'm not gonna obviously it's A24, so we don't know what the hell it's gonna be about. But it was giving me big what was that one that we watched, Selis? With the Maria. What was that one?
Oh,
That one was crazy. That movie's crazy. But it kind of reminds me of that.
the Wolf House.
Wolf House. It kind of
I
reminds
love that movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes,
It's
thank
so
you.
good. It's so good.
I love the Wolf House.
It's so
Anyway,
good.
It reminds me of when because there's a couple scenes where they kind of hint that the lamb is has a human body or something. I don't know. Anyway, it reminds me of that scene in that movie where she turns the pigs into humans, and that'd be fucking dope. I'm trying to see some lambs with some legs.
If it's
getting
anything like the
revenge.
Wolf House, I'm in.
No, exactly. And it honestly, it doesn't seem anything like it, but it kind of gave me that same eerie vibe when we watched the trailer, and for some reason, it reminds me of that. So I was like, I'm flipping in. I'm in.
Also, the actress New Me is so good. So I'm excited.
Oh, I
she
thought
been
you
in-
said new me. I
She
thought-
was in I don't know if anybody cared about this movie, but she was in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the remake. Was it the remake? No, I'm sorry,
I
the
think that was
original.
the only one.
The original film. Because the remake was Rooney Mara, I think.
Wait, they did a remake?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did an English version with Rooney Mara.
Oh, okay. So they did a foreign language version, and then they did an English version.
Yeah.
I missed that. whole thing.
I know
What are
Numi
your
from Prometheus.
Oh yeah, she's great in that. What are your thoughts about Freddy vs. Jason? I love it, despite
it.
that one scene that's a hot ass mess.
Yeah. Other than the fact that Freddy is racist in that.
Yeah, that's a hot mess.
think-
Yeah.
I think it's a really fun treat for fans of the franchises.
I'll say this. I know I said this already to you, Dylan. That and Selis, that scene threw me off. But I mean, are we surprised that the child killer is racist? I feel like we should have assumed that already.
Well, it's like when It 2 came out and everyone was like, "Oh, Pennywise is homophobic." I'm done.
Right?
What?
I thought the same thing, Dylan.
But it's one of those things where that scene, I was so enjoying the movie, and that just took me out of the magic of the film. And I was like, oh, god damn it. Really, dude? Like,
Oh my god, yes.
fun
Absolutely.
movie otherwise.
I can't wait.
I'm so excited.
Nia DaCosta's awesome. I can't wait to see her new movie.
Right? So excited. I wanted to see Jason in Miami.
Um,
Honestly,
listen, the
I wouldn't be
13th
surprised
one.
if they make one. This should be the 13th
Take
film.
Miami.
My heart is in Havana. So.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
I have never seen them. I think Jhownee loves them.
oh, there's a
Well,
follow-up
no,
question.
they're
They're
bad.
fun.
Oh, I'm
They're
sorry.
bad,
There's a
but I like it
follow-up
anyway.
question?
Yes, later on. So we should get to that one because that one has a little more meat in it
Okay.
at the end.
Oh, is it this one?
Yeah, that one's really good.
Ah, got you. Okay.
Sorry, I'm slow with the chat, you guys. Y'all know. Y'all been here all the time, so you know.
Oh, and
I'm
there's also
so
a Resident Evil Village one. There's a lot of Resident Evil questions right now. We can.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. So they're asking, do we like the Resident Evil movies or the games? I am not a gamer, so I enjoy the
I am an
movies a little
gamer
bit.
boy. I think I'm gonna have to lean with the games.
Same.
First movie's really
I,
good.
I haven't seen the films, but I'm going to say the games right now because I have nothing else to say.
The films are very, very different. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
honestly, like the only similarity is the names. Like, it's like saying, do you like Maseratis or hybrid cars? Like, they are both cars, yes, but they're very different beasts.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed this one. Sorry, I'm slow.
Ooh,
I have not seen Spiral yet. I think everybody here besides me and Rocco has.
It's like, yeah, you've seen it.
I have no thoughts. I really do want to see it though. Jhownee, what were your thoughts?
Meh. It doesn't belong in a franchise.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Why do you
okay.
feel like that?
Who?
I don't think he heard you.
What?
He said
Okay.
Rocco said, why'd you feel like that? Jhownee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he muted a little bit. Well, because the plot has nothing to do with the rest of the franchise. Basically, it's just there. Say, hi, I'm a Saw movie. I'm like, no, bitch, you're not. You're bringing nothing.
Okay. Melissa, I know your thoughts.
Yeah.
You did not like it, right?
I mean, I thought some of the kills were okay. I was like, I'm a sucker for the gore, honestly. That's why I watch a lot of them. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't really stick with me. It was just kind of there.
Tillin?
I liked it okay. I mean, it's Saw is such a splintered franchise at this point, and I feel like it at least like Jigsaw tried to reimagine it in a way. I think Spiral's doing the same thing, but at least Spiral isn't so painfully white, and
True.
and I thought Chris Rock was good. I liked that he was passionate about the franchise and had this different spin on it. I think it was kind of cool to bring sort of an ACAB element in. I think maybe he could have done more of that, but it's fine. It was an enjoyable watching experience.
Okay. I'm gonna watch it soon, so
Yeah.
3 very different opinions.
Mike, you always come through with such good questions. I am very optimistic that it will be great. I heard Jamie Lee Curtis talking about it in an interview without giving too much away. And I just have a feeling it's going to be really good, just judging off how she was talking about it.
Yeah.
What about you, Jhownee?
Well, I'm excited to watch it, but I don't have an opinion yet.
No opinion. I have not seen the trailer either. I'm trying to avoid it. I did that with Halloween 2018. I refused to watch the trailer. And I enjoyed the film better that way. So no idea what's going on, but I have high hopes. Melissa?
The second that.
I hope it's good. I don't know. I mean, knowing me, I'm probably gonna enjoy it regardless because I'm just like a sucker for the franchise in general, even the worst ones. So.
You saw the trailer, right?
Yes, I did. And it got me really excited. So I'm like, God, no, don't break my heart. Please be good. I don't know.
Oh shit, I'm scared. Dylan?
I haven't seen the trailer either, but I think I'm with Melissa on that.
Yeah.
I like watching movies, and I think I will enjoy watching this movie. I mean, I'm not expecting them to do anything revolutionary story-wise.
Yeah.
Halloween isn't really about that, but I like Michael Myers.
I think where the new Halloween seems to be going is like they're really not doing anything crazy storyline wise, but they're doing some good character drama.
They
especially with
are.
Laurie and
Oh, yeah.
Pam. And I think that's the most interesting part, and that's why I love the new one.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Are there any video games? Sorry, are there any video game films that any of you actually found good? I'm at a loss with the genre.
Ooh.
Listen, I'm Team Dead by Daylight.
I mean, it depends on your definition of good, though. You know, it's
I
like
mean, true.
seriously, because like I mean, I think Silent Hill is pretty good. You know, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Resident Evil 1 is really. I haven't seen. I know I saw the second one. I didn't see the other ones after, but Resident Evil 1 was really good
yeah.
for for like that era.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes, I did.
That, ooh.
Absolutely.
If anyone knows me, I love The Conjuring. Obsessed. I really did enjoy part 3. I know it's got like
Had a good
a
time with it.
50-50. It has like people who hated it and thought it was trash, and then it has people that are like, oh, I love what they did here, and they went in a totally different direction. I am with those people that are like, they went in a totally different direction because the franchise needed that, or else it would have been stale as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So loved it. Also, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, amazing,
Icon.
amazing. Oh my god, I love this movie.
Oh my god, that was good.
This
I love that.
This made me so excited. I love this movie so much.
I haven't
Wait,
seen
which
it.
one is this? I don't remember this.
Dylan, you would love it.
Haven't seen it. Yeah.
Oh, Dylan, you would love it.
That was
I think you
good.
would love it.
Mara's
What kind
good.
of what era is this?
This is Melissa, is it from the 90s or 80s? 90s.
Oh, so I probably would like it.
It's got
Yeah.
Meryl Streep, Bruce
It's
Willis.
amazing. She's so good.
Oh, is that like really campy one that kind of has like that one was really fun. I like that movie a lot. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think it's definitely
Horror
up
comedy?
Dylan's alley. Yes.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
You would really like it. It's kind of like Henenlotter-esque almost.
It is.
Really?
It is.
Yeah.
It's
You
so
have my
good.
interest.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, I say Henenlotter, but it's kind of a little bit more like a little less grindhousey, but very good.
Yeah.
Really good. Really enjoyed it.
I would say though that Frankenhooker and Death Becomes Her would be a great double feature.
Yes,
Guys, you should do it.
I love it.
Come over sometime. I'll trek out to where you guys are.
Oh yeah, I'm with it. Listen, we got the new spot now.
Oh,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
Come
Well,
through.
yeah, we're moving in a couple weeks too. So yeah.
Hey, everybody's moving.
Yes, girl. I am excited too.
Carter is throwing all these heaters right now. Look at every single.
Carter, you're fucking quick,
Good,
Carter.
yeah, you're
Hold on,
good
I'm
with it.
slow.
We love it.
I'm a slow
Fire.
reader.
Every single question is fire, back to back. All right.
Scream 5 is coming next year. I'm so fucking excited. First
Yes.
of all, I wanna geek out for 2 seconds. Okay, so in a couple days, I'm gonna meet Matthew Lillard at Monster Mania, and I'm like, my childhood is dying. I'm like so excited.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh my god, this is my everything.
I'm preparing to have to pay the rent alone. So you know what? If you have to run off on him, it's okay. I have money saved.
Oh, I love that man. I would marry him 10 out of 10. Not a secret here. What? I don't know what that is, Mike.
So,
District 9 sequel.
I am.
Oh, I haven't seen that film. That's a
Yeah,
film?
I haven't
seen
seen
that
it
one.
either. Yeah,
I
District 9 is a movie. A lot of people really like it. I think it's probably one of those movies that people just suggested so much. I was like, "Ugh, get away from me, But
It is one of those movies. I personally like District 9. I mean, I
Wait,
haven't seen it in
What kind
years.
of horror is this?
Like action, horror, invasion,
Non-horror.
right? That kind of thing.
It's not really hard. I mean, a little bit of
Yeah.
slight body horror, but it's more like a sci-fi,
Yeah.
like political drama. Like it's
Yeah,
kind of hard to explain. You have to see it.
Yeah.
It's really good though.
Sci-fi drama.
It's
I'll watch it and get back to you, Mike.
It's very late 2000s, but it's very good. Like it was considered like a little groundbreaking in the genre. I enjoyed it a lot though. I have to watch it now soon though.
Yeah. I was at the wrong age for that.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. I watched it when I was like 14.
The Nun 2. OMG, boys, it's The Nun.
And then
Wait, I didn't even know that was a thing. That's like really
Oh my
happening.
god.
Is that
Yeah, yeah.
confirmed?
Okay, so The Nun wasn't a good movie, but I had a great time seeing The Nun.
Yes.
Me
I was-
too.
I was working as a bartender then. I had no time off. On my one day off, I was like, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go see The Nun. I was the only person in that movie theater in Chicago. And it was like, it's like watching a movie on your laptop in the dark, but like the biggest laptop ever.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love it.
Or
I had
the
a great
smallest
time
person.
watching that movie.
Yeah, it was fun. I like Farmiga Sisters.
Yeah,
Oh.
me too. And like the
Oh.
opening sequence was fire. I don't care.
Don't even
don't
get me
care.
started.
The opening sequence is great.
Yeah, I like a lot of the Conjuring side movies. Not the original, what's it?
Annabelle.
Annabelle. Yeah, not the
Yeah.
first
Ew.
Annabelle. But
Hot mess.
And not La Llorona. That was a fucking
Oh,
mess,
no.
too.
yeah, Llorona's pretty bad.
Oh, Christ.
And it
Oh.
had our queen in it too, which is
I
mad.
only watch it. Yeah.
I
Oh,
know.
and it's got Linda
Cardellini.
Cardellini.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, wasted potential on that
They
one.
did our
But,
There
dirty so
are-
dirty.
I will say the Conjuring universe may not always be consistent with its movies, but it's always consistent with its baddies. Patrick
Well-
Wilson, the
Hey,
Farmiga
Hey,
sisters,
it's so true. I
Yeah.
Linda
scream my panic every
Cardellini.
time. Every time.
those are thirst trap movies. I
Thirst
gotta
Trap
tell you,
movies.
Oh,
Every
it
The
is.
Nun. Every time I see her, she's so sexy.
Oh,
That wolf thing from Annabelle Comes Home.
oh my
Nobody
God.
where
Man.
my fur is at.
oh my
Yeah.
god, the crooked man. or the
Yeah, he is
whatever it
sexy.
was. Ooh, he can
Hi,
get.
I like-
friends.
For everybody who likes soft boys, the Crooked Man.
Oh, the crooked
Yeah.
man.
You little
Oh, Carter, I'm so fucking excited. You
Came
don't
to the
even
right
know.
live stream.
Yes.
Yes, you did come to the right live stream. I've also had a lot of
Oh.
like Bud Light seltzers. Sorry, friends, I'm
I'm-
yelling, but like I'm so excited. I know everybody here is so excited. We are all Chucky fans here.
Yes.
I mean, that's like one of your most watched
I'm
videos.
freaking out about it.
Yeah, we like Chucky.
You guys know that Selis liked Chucky by her video with like 2,000.
Oh, I have a Chucky doll too. It's in
Oh,
the other room. It's in the other
Do
room.
you?
It's with.
boy.
Wait, I'll bring it. I'll bring it.
Bring out
those
the
Bud Light
boy.
seltzers are
I'll,
hitting.
I'll bring with the
Hey,
fans.
take your
demand.
headphones off.
Oh wait, hold up. They don't go that long. Oh my goodness.
Gonna go get the boy.
Okay, wait.
Okay. Can you guys excuse me just a second? Just a second.
Oh my god, he's
Sorry,
talking.
I got Dylan involved in
Oh, this is great.
What?
drunk stream.
What?
This is what we do.
Wait,
on
let me see.
We get drunk and we do things like this.
I am stone cold sober.
This is my
Oh,
Chucky
Same.
doll.
Yeah.
The boy.
Shout out to my friend Chris who got me this.
That's cool. I'm jealous.
Okay,
He's so cute.
beautiful.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm so much right now. Oh wait, I showed that one
Can you
already.
guys-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scream. Can you guys excuse me for just a second?
Yes.
Of course. I went and
Be right
read
back.
like 10 times during the reading.
Oh my god, you guys are so cute. You're all talking to each other on here. Like, that's so cute. I love
Okay,
when
little
you
fan.
guys know each other.
Don't breathe too.
Oh god.
Yes, that comes out.
Yeah.
Friday?
Well, I have mixed feelings on this. I feel like it wasn't necessary.
I mean, the first one is a really strange movie. It was good, but like also, I mean, I don't know. I need to go back and watch the first one because I don't know how I feel about it still. Because it's just that turn in the middle of the movie is so quick.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I agree with you.
So I guess I'm interested to see more. I mean,
Yeah,
I like
Uh,
Freddy Alvarez.
me too. I think he's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, I thought his Evil Dead's really good.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
The Don't Breathe 2 trailer, it really did not impress me though.
I haven't seen it.
So it really didn't make me want to watch it. Also, it looks more action packed than horror or thriller.
Well, it's like he has a daughter in it too, which has like I'm wondering about the implications of that. You know.
Yeah, it just seems odd. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know if I'm even gonna watch it.
I'll watch it. I like movies.
We all like movies here.
I
Ooh,
like
what
every movie I
cosplay
ever
are you
seen.
working on, Matthew?
Yeah, keep it the cause.
Oh, this is a good question. Wait, I just lost it. I'm so sorry. Okay. What's the
Ooh.
creepiest killer doll movie of all time?
Dolls. Come on.
Wow, it's a great question. Wow. That's a really good question. Let me
I'm
think.
gonna say
stand by it.
probably.
Ooh, tell me, Melissa. Tell me.
You see, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm a big wuss. I've had a fear of like those creepy old porcelain dolls for like forever, or just dolls in general used to like freak me out. So I'm gonna
Me
say probably
too.
most of them would probably freak me out. I don't know if I haven't seen Dolls.
I
That
love
movie is
Dolls.
fun.
Now
I like Dolls a lot.
It's
I'm
a
like
fun movie.
more okay with seeing killer dolls now, so maybe I'll delve more into that and I'll get back to you guys on that because
So I feel like I haven't seen a lot of doll horror movies. I don't know if this counts, but I rewatched Dead Silence recently. And I don't give a fuck, but that doll still scares me. That doll still scares me.
He's creepy. I actually want
Choice.
one.
Oh wait, what was that doll movie in that anthology series that we watched? That doll was creepy. The one where it's like the little like voodoo looking doll.
Oh, was it in Tales from the Hood?
No, not Tales
Holy
from the-
fuck!
That was a good doll. though.
Trilogy of Terror.
Trilogy of Terror. That
Trilogy
doll's
of Terror
terrifying.
one's really good.
Oh, that's
I watched
so
that as a
good.
kid.
Yeah.
And that shit fucked me up. I watched that
Yeah.
before I
So
watched
good.
Chucky. That shit fucked me up, dude.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Selis. Like I don't really find doll movies super scary. I love Stuart Gordon's Dolls. It's a great movie, but I think Dead Silence is probably the scariest.
Yes,
Which
and
one?
it holds up. I just watched it recently, and I was
I
like,
love it. Everyone told me it was bad, but I love it.
I love it too. Lee Winnell is great. Stop it.
Which
It's
one
James
was
Wan
Dead
too, right?
Silence again?
Yes.
I don't remember Dead Silence.
It's the puppet one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but which puppet one?
It's
They
the
get it like
one.
in the mail. And then
Yeah.
there's like that creepy lady. There's like a whole little jingle.
You
that
know
goes
what,
with it.
Rocco? We watched it when we got our second COVID shot, and you were sleeping.
Oh,
Of course.
I see. People don't really. This is only my second time on the channel or the streams, like in person, so people don't know. But every single time somebody goes, "You remember that movie?" and it's not like a famous franchise that I've seen, I'm always like, Celise knows.
Well.
I've still to this day ask her, "Have we watched Reanimator?" And I've watched it like 5 times.
We all watched it together.
Yes, I watched
Guys,
it.
I'm telling. Were you to do a Reanimator table screams? West is a dream role. So
Ooh.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
would love to do that.
I literally watched Reanimator like I watched it multiple times since 2015, and I never remember that I watched it. I only remember it because Celise tells me.
Trying to reach 1,000 films watched on Letterboxd.
Ooh.
Girl, me too. I don't even know how I'm not there yet.
I think I'm at 1,000. I don't know.
Maybe I am there. I don't even know. Sometimes I forget to log what I've watched, so I don't know.
What do you
When you-
win
I
if you
think
get
that's-
1,000 views?
Oh,
On
I
this
think he's
video?
referencing.
With no, that's. I think he was talking about the 1,000 films.
Yeah, because
on
then
the
he
Letterboxd.
corrects himself.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Sorry,
You
guys,
get
I'm
the
slow.
satisfaction that you're so much better than everyone else.
Yes, I can't like movies unless I feel superior.
Yes.
No, they're not.
I'm very excited for the Exorcist remake reboot situation.
Whenever The Exorcist comes
People.
up, I just have to go and bring it back because I feel like the series was so freaking underrated and it was so good.
It was so
such a
good.
good show, honestly.
I don't care. I don't care what you guys say. It was good. It was good for me.
Hold on. Are we
I
gonna,
needed a third season.
I
are
don't
we just
remember
gonna
it.
skim past Chucky versus Leprechaun? I love
Okay.
that comment. That's amazing.
I'll go
Ooh.
for
I
it.
didn't even see
What?
it. I'm
That's
sorry.
amazing.
But I
That's
love
awesome.
possession movies, so I'll probably see whatever comes out. That's Exorcist.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, really, who here has seen the Exorcist TV show? Because that first season, Gina Davis is fucking everything,
Love it.
It was
and the
very good.
connection, incredible. Then season 2, John Cho, amazing, amazing.
My favorite part about that series was how goofy it was because
It
you
was.
know it was, and I enjoyed it. And otherwise, I would have hated it. But just everyone was so good, and the story was actually interesting
Yeah.
that the goofiness like
Mhm.
felt normal.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's so hard to describe that series. Like you just have to watch it. I 100%
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah, I don't watch
Mm.
TV. I only watch movies. That's how you get to 1,000. Okay.
Wait, aren't there TV series on Letterboxd too?
Yeah, there's some
Are there?
miniseries. Yeah.
Oh, I need to make
Oh.
one of
Yeah, I
those
don't know.
things.
You
No, I
do
li- I
it.
like
I've been
Six
telling you.
I need to try that.
6th episode, I was out.
Mike, I have not seen that. I don't know what that is
I don't think I've
actually.
seen that.
I have problems with vulnerability, so I don't really want to.
I know what movie it is, but I haven't seen it yet.
Frailty. Oh, 2001. Okay.
Yeah.
Dylan,
Bill
do you have a
Paxton.
database?
No, I have Google.
Database that you like.
Lamine,
Oh,
yes,
fucking
it's so
ah!
scary. It still holds up. It still holds up. I don't care. We stand Lee Winnell here on this channel.
Lee Wan.
Night of the Living
Dawn.
Dead versus Dawn of the Dead. I'm gonna say
Ooh.
night. I'm gonna say night
Yeah, night.
Definitely not.
for
for
me.
sure.
Dawn.
Rocco, what's for you?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's okay. So I think Dawn of the Dead is probably Night of the Living Dead. Never mind. No rant. Just Night of the Living Dead. That's it. No nuance.
And night is so good.
Classic. But if you guys haven't seen it, George Romero's Season of the Witch is really good. I just saw that for the first time recently.
Oh, that's been on my list for so long.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that too.
Yeah,
I
I don't
will
know if it'll
say-
be up your alley. It's pretty slow, Rocco especially, but like Selis, I think you might get something out of it.
Okay.
What do you
Nothing
think?
off
Have
you,
the
Rocco.
attention fly, but
No, Rocco tends to not like slow movies, though. Sorry.
excuse me. I love Hereditary.
No, but it's true. Yeah, but Hereditary is different. The
I know.
anxiety is building.
I like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
slow burns that give us interesting character drama. I don't like movies that are just slow for the the point.
In that case, you might like Season of the Witch.
Like, Rocco didn't really like Rosemary's Baby. That's a slow one.
It took
well,
me
I-
some
I
time to
enjoy
really
that
get
one.
into Rosemary's Baby.
That's
Okay, let me explain.
how I feel. That's how I
Dro-
feel.
Just drop some heat like that and not let me defend myself.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying the
Yeah.
truth. You don't really care for it.
Yeah,
Oh my
boo to Roman Polanski,
I
but
initially
yo
watched
to
Fuck,
Rosemary's Baby.
fuck Roman Polanski.
Yeah,
That's why I don't like it.
The
Dang
whole
it.
film is Mia Farrow. Mia Farrow makes the
I didn't
film.
like
she's
it.
awesome.
I
Have you
didn't
seen
like
Full
it because-
Circle?
No, what's
That-
that?
That's another Mia Farrow horror movie that's actually pretty interesting. If
Oh my
you're,
gosh. Anything Mia Farrow, I will watch.
yeah.
Thank you. I will watch that. I'm sorry, Rocco. What were you
Yeah.
saying?
Oh, it's okay. I was just gonna say I watched that. You made me watch that and Suspiria back to back, and the
I
original.
did.
Suspiria.
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
And I think
Something I would do.
it's just like I think it's just one of those things where like I'm so used to the pacing of a movie like Rosemary's Baby that when it got to the end, I really wasn't shocked. I was just like, okay, like I don't know how to describe it. I feel like it's one of those things that like if I had seen it younger, it like kind of like The Exorcist, it would have really impacted me more. Like when I saw The Exorcist as a kid, I was like, holy shit. But if I would have watched it now as an adult, I'd be like, that was good. And that's kind of how I felt about Rosemary's Baby.
I
It's
think give it a
definitely-
couple more years and then see how you feel.
I now I appreciate Rosemary's Baby more after I've seen it about 4 times. But when I first saw it, I was like, all right, that was cool. Like it didn't really do anything. It was kind of slow.
Wait, you haven't seen it 4 times.
I've at least seen it. I saw it when you show me. Then we watched it again, and then I thought I watched it at least the 3rd time.
It's only twice.
I don't even remember how many times I've seen the movie. There you go. But it
Fun.
definitely grew on me. Suspiria,
Rocco,
though.
you can lie to me, but not to the
sorry.
people.
Ah, I love them.
You
I
love it.
love these movies. I love them so much.
Especially
Deep.
the third one. That is my guilty pleasure. I can't
That's
help
my
it.
favorite. It's my favorite
Listen,
one.
that movie, I had the one and only crush on what's his face? Chris Lemche. After watching that movie, I was like,
Oh, he was.
Love him.
Yeah, everybody loved him back in
He's
the
in
day.
Ginger Snaps, yeah.
He
Yes.
is.
I love him in that one too. I'm like,
Oh, Carter, honey, we love I Know What You Did Last Summer. If you would like to check out our live reading, it is on my channel. Oh, goodbye. Have a good night. Thank you for coming through.
Bye. This person's already gone though, but
oh no.
I'm sure they're gone. Sorry, I'm really slow.
they'll see it when they watch it over.
Who do you think? I'm sorry. Who do you think who's the worst? Oh, I didn't even know there were different actors. I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm gonna we'll leave this one.
Actually,
Maybe he's referring to that, like, often
Oh!
goofy character actors play the characters that turn out to be
Oh,
Ghostface.
okay. I'm sorry, guys. I've had too much to drink. I'm sorry.
oh,
I know what
Okay,
you're saying
none of
now.
them.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say the same as Jhownee, though. I've
Which-
enjoyed every single one of them.
I don't really dislike any of the characters that were Ghostface. I got to tell you the truth.
yeah.
I really
like
love
'em.
the series though, so I'm a little biased.
All of them deliver.
Yeah, I agree. with
I
Jhownee.
agree. Hereditary, sorry, goes ham in the
Heredity?
trap. Heredity.
Hard
Heredity.
as motherfucker in the trap.
Yo,
yeah.
Mike, it's straight up facts. Like, facts. Mike, I love that you're from New York. Like, you just know how to talk to me. Thank you, Mike.
She like the way that I.
My favorite.
Too much for the stream.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did that one already. Who's that?
Oh, it's the one from Scream
Oh,
3.
that's what's his name? Oh my god.
It's the one from Scream
Carl.
3.
That's
Roman.
Carl.
Rub.
That's
Oh,
Carl
Scream
Fulton's brother.
Rocco's doing this stupid thing. I can't even explain it to the subscribers what you're doing. I have to pee though. Rocco, take control of the chat.
Right, I got you.
I like Scott Foley. He was good in Scrubs.
He was. Oh, that wait. Which guy? I gotta look him up now. Scott Foley.
He's a guy that you look at his face and you're like, oh, I've seen him in things.
Yeah,
Let me see.
but he's a great actor. No matter what the
Oh,
script
I've
did,
seen
he
him in things.
delivered. He delivered that
I've seen him in
performance. He was amazing.
Well, Scream 3, that you said is your favorite. So, yeah, I think you'd say he's a good actor.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of my all-time. I don't have control of the chat right now, so I
Okay.
apologize to everybody.
Go for it.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of my all-time favorites. I have to agree, Carter. That is a great movie.
That's pretty good.
And
I
it's one of
love
those
it.
movies that like I watched as a kid but didn't remember. So when I watched it again like 5 years ago almost, it still was pretty intense. And I can't say that for a lot of movies of the era. I know that's like sacrilege. Oh my God, kill me. But and I'll be the first one to say like a lot of the movies that I like from that era, like I watch them back now and they're slow. Movies were made slower back then. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
I love that
Just
whole
like
genre
people.
of like post free love Manson movies. And I mean, a Texas Chainsaw really taps into that. But I actually recently saw the second one for the first time recently and loved that too. So Texas Chainsaw is great.
I felt like the first one was very inspired. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
And I'll even say, and this is a really hot take, Selis actually agrees with me. So if people get mad at me, you can get mad at her too. The one with Trey Songz was actually really fun. I enjoy that
Oh,
one. Was
God.
that 3D or something?
Wait, it has that one song that
Yes.
we didn't even realize lyrics.
It will
I
fuck
don't
you
remember.
up.
Yo, fuck you
darling,
up.
fuck you up.
Fuck you up.
So Lisa's saying it from the bathroom right now. I really like I really like that. I really like the beginning scene in that when they like do like the flashback. It looked really cool. That's like the most I'll give to that movie of the 3D
Yeah.
one. But
What's
anyway.
that? Oh,
Mhm.
Chainsaw 3D.
Yeah, whatever the hell it was called.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
fine.
Mankind. Is that like a movie? I don't know if I don't think I've heard of that. Anybody?
Mankind.
Are you
No,
just
I
talking
haven't
about
seen
like
it.
humans in general? Because I mean, we could rant about that. Does anybody know what that like? If that's a movie, I don't. I feel like I've heard of a movie.
Probably
now,
it is.
I
The
gotta look it
story of Mankind. Oh, Mankind, a short film from 2019.
Oh yeah. It is a movie from 2019.
Okay.
Oh, it's a
I
short.
haven't
Yeah.
seen it. It sounds. Yeah, it's a short. So,
Oh wait, this sounds awesome. Actually, if you're talking about this short movie from 2019, it sounds pretty dope.
yeah.
It's got Ricky Nixon, Alexis Gregory, Michael Filson makes an appearance. Cheers! I'll drink to that, bro. Oh, sorry. Try this one. It kind of tastes. This one, yeah, it's weird.
Oh, because they're mojitos.
This tastes the way that weed smells. I don't know how to explain it.
Ooh.
That's
With that
weird.
weed smells or weed?
Ooh.
Weed.
Oh, okay. Because
Marijuana.
beer tastes the way
Ew.
that wheat smells.
Wait, no, your drink kind of, Selis, your drink kind of smells like rye bread. It kind of tastes like rye bread. I don't know how to describe it.
Because it has mint.
It's mint and rye bread. Am I losing?
No. In mojitos, they put mint. So it says
It's minty.
watermelon mojito. It has a little mint flavor.
Well, as New Yorkers, we love the smell of rye.
The fresh smell of rye.
Sounds
What did I
good.
miss, guys? What did I miss?
We're up to Halloween 4 was awesome.
Ooh.
Okay.
Halloween 4 was awesome.
Oh my god, yes. With
Jhownee
Danielle
was-
Harris? Jhownee, what? Tell me, honey.
No, the comment about Scream.
Oh no.
Oh, about Scream? What was
It's over
it?
now. It's
Oh wait,
over
can we
now.
talk about Lamine's comment? Because I feel like we can segue pretty easily into
Oh, yeah.
something very near and dear to my heart.
Oh,
My
Oh,
favorite part of
Christ.
Scream is that its original title was Scary Movie. Didn't care for much else about it though.
Obviously,
Okay,
none of you
doesn't
guys
have to
follow
be
me
for
on
everybody.
Twitter, but if you did, you know that. Yeah, I mean the Scary Movie. I just went on a whole thing about the Scary Movie.
This legitimately tastes like weed.
It tastes like rye bread. I'm
What?
telling you. Once it sits in your mouth for a little bit, it tastes like rye bread.
I don't think I like these mojito ones.
I don't know. The strawberry daiquiri is the best one
Is
so
it
far.
weird?
Tastes
The
like
mang-
rye
the mango's
bread
the
and
best one.
weed. It's New York flavor.
You know, when I think of the flavor of New York, I think of like Subway juice and
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I don't
Cockroach.
think of rye bread.
Ooh.
What?
The man, I
Cockroach?
can't believe that you don't like Scream. I mean, to each his own, but like
It's okay. Not everybody likes everything.
Have you watched it
mo-
recently?
most
Maybe?
people like Scream, but like if you don't like Scream, that's totally fine. I'm not coming for you.
Listen, it's not totally fine. We're gonna debate about this next time I see.
No, you don't have to change his mind. It's fine if you don't like Scream. Just don't say that you prefer Scary Movie over Scream.
Oh.
Then we have to discuss.
We can't discuss Scary Movie because of the villain. Well, you guys are getting a little bit of a spoiler. We can't talk about Scary Movie.
Oh, the wrestling.
Oh.
Yo, what the fuck
That's
is going on? I don't know
Okay,
what's
no,
going
no.
on.
I understand.
Wait.
Okay, yeah,
Oh
I
fuck!
get it.
I gotta take my.
Okay.
Yeah, I get
now,
it now.
See, Mike, now we
Mick
also-
Foley.
This is what happens when you have a couple of these Bud Light seltzers. Bud Light seltzers. at
They're
your
really
local
good
bodega.
though.
Yeah.
We're not even sponsored, but they're pretty good.
Mike,
Except the
I see
mojito.
you.
Okay, Carter, I haven't seen any of these films. My
heard of
friend
Terror Train.
Chris actually told me that Terror Train was awful. But me and Chris tend to differ in what we like. So I don't know if I would like Terror Train. It has Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that one.
Ooh.
Yes, that looked questionable, but I would.
It's
I did actually see it
Canadian,
last
my
night.
people.
Oh,
You know
that's
who
what you're
else is in
talking
that
about.
movie? You know who else is in it? David Copperfield.
No.
Shit.
Oh, me interested.
Yeah,
It's
last
funny.
night
I like
actually, I tried to peer pressure Selis into watching Terror Train. I've never seen it before, but I want to watch it.
It's
I'll
fun.
watch it
It's
for
fun.
Jamie Lee.
Yeah.
I also haven't seen New Year's Evil, but I did see that it's on Amazon Prime, so I'll probably watch it.
I watched
I,
Prom Night for Jamie Lee, so I'm sure I'll watch Terror Train.
Yeah, I
Me
mean,
too.
Prom Night was a little rough, but it, Jamie.
My
Lee.
favorite is Thick Slick.
Is that actually? Are you joking or is that real?
No, the character's Slick.
Oh, I don't remember. I slept through Prom Night, so I don't.
He
remember.
fell asleep.
He drives up and he's like,
Hey guys, my name is Slick.
Yeah, I
Wanna hop in
remember.
my car?
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that actually.
Oh,
Lamine.
Lamine.
Oh, Lamine. I know that's hard for you to get out, but
So Lamine, you know what, Lamine? Maybe we'll have this conversation in private.
Oh,
I
No,
was
Lamine,
just
I
automatically
respect.
canceled.
No. I respect the Wayans brothers, and I respect like the films that they made during that time. But
Very
I
talented.
rewatched. Yeah, they are very talented, and I think they're funny. But I rewatched Scary Movie just a couple of days ago,
we watched
and
1 through 4, by the way, everybody. So we watched
We
a lot.
still have
back
to
to
watch
back.
5.
I just
guys.
I thought it was like rough.
I gotta take it. Everybody absolutely Gawk 9000's Scary Movie 2. And I gotta tell you, Scary Movie 2 is tough to get through. Like,
Mhm.
Yo,
not even,
Anna
like,
Faris is a fucking queen, though. I
She
stand
is-
Anna Faris.
her and Regina Hall, they like.
Oh my god, Regina Hall's amazing.
I had a crush on her
Yeah.
as a kid, by the way.
Me too.
I
literally-
if I was a kid,
Oh.
I was like,
Anna Faris, though, I would marry Anna Faris in like 2 seconds.
I'm
2
more of a Regina Hall person, but Anna Faris is also very.
I'm also Team Paul.
Yeah.
seconds. They're both beautiful. I love
Me
them.
But I got to tell you the truth. Outside of them, the guy from Schitt's Creek, like he was kind of okay, but his character was not fun. Like the hand thing, I know, like I
Oh.
thought it was funny when I was 12, but
Where's my little hands?
Oh,
I
Chris.
can't.
Yeah.
So
me and,
Chris.
so me, Selis,
Chris
and
Evans, is that it?
Melissa.
No, not Chris Evans.
Chris
That's
Evans.
his name.
I mean,
Chris Evans.
Chris
Evans.
Evans'
would
name.
never.
I
Chris
love
Evans.
it.
That
My
is
favorite
American
part of
Dad.
Knives Out was
Help
when the
me out,
guy
what's
from
his
Schitt's
name?
Creek.
The guy from Schitt's Creek. I don't know his name.
Yeah, you know the guy from Schitt's
is
Creek,
your
the
name?
guy with
Chris
the little hand.
Elliott. Okay.
Chris Elliott.
There you
That's
go.
thank you.
There you go.
I got to tell you the truth, though.
Sorry,
Chris
I don't watch
Evans.
all the Marvel movies.
Melissa's personally offended by that. She loves Marvel.
I
like
enjoy
how-
Marvel. I'm a Marvel enjoyer.
We got through 4 scary movies, and me and Selis and Melissa. Well, Melissa, you only watched the last. 3
I
and
watched the
4.
last 2.
Melissa, we gotta watch 5.
We did not laugh.
We have.
once.
I mean, we have to finish it, guys. We have to. Unfortunately.
We have to
We-
suffer.
We did not
need to
chuckle.
watch
I'm
5.
telling you, like, no, 5 is gonna be tough.
No, we're
Lamine, I don't know. Lamine, we'll talk about this. We'll
Yeah,
talk
we can
about
have a
this.
whole discourse about this.
We'll talk about this. I want to get your thoughts anyway.
As someone who stands Ashley Tisdale, I think 5 is a mess.
I love Ashley Tisdale.
She's great.
You know,
She is a talent.
For the love of
I'm
Ashley
afraid that
Tisdale.
now that people are like bringing the 2000s back, the cool parts of the 2000s are going to be brought back, but also the bad parts, like layering clothes and scary movie. Like I'm afraid that we're going to get a scary movie
Scary Movie 6.
reboot, or like scary
Oh,
movie
stop.
1.
Master of
two.
Disguise.
Carter, you're going in. You're sending that message. You're like,
Oh,
Austin.
oh my God.
Carter's like, I need them to see my
Nice.
comment. You know what? Oh my god, this is. You know what? Rocco,
This
go
is
first
a-
because this is like a lot.
Wait, which one? Saw versus Hostel?
Yeah.
Can I choose neither? I'm sorry. I like Saw 1. I don't. Okay, so those were good, but
We
I
just watched
really-
it.
I can't really say I liked anything else. I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's just
I got a lot to say.
And then the oh my god, Selis, you know my favorite scene. My favorite scene being the worst scene in my opinion.
From
Oh,
Hostel?
With
From
the
Hostel.
girl?
With the
girl?
girl, yes.
Okay,
That scene-
I'm gonna address that.
that's when I think I really tuned out after that. I was like, oh okay, like this is just like so
Okay.
like I get
So-
that it was shitty, but like we didn't need to do that. But-
So, For me, I'm gonna say. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna say Hostel, but here's my thing. I'm gonna say Hostel because our leading actor is a Latino, and like, thank you for that because we really don't. We do not have that, so I'm just gonna say thank you. And for that time, that was iconic.
Yeah.
Also, the actor was really good.
I will say, basically, I feel like the performances and the character writing is better in Hostel in general.
Yeah.
So I might have to actually give it to Hostel. I might have to rescind it from Saw.
I will say, though, there are some questionable things in Hostel that does not hold up, but I see that in a lot of Eli Roth's work. Like,
wow,
with Cabin Fever, that was a hot ass mess. The ending was a hot ass mess with that white man saying that word. I'm not even gonna.
You know when he wrote that, my favorite part is when he wrote that, he showed his buddies and they were like, "Dude, this is like fucking hilarious, bro. This is so
hot mess." But yeah, and there's also that scene in Hostel where he tells the Asian girl, like, no way, my friend doesn't even like Asian girls, and like that's so fucking fucked up.
It's so unnecessary for the story.
You can give me the argument that like, oh, these characters are supposed to be assholes, we're supposed to hate them. Yes, I get that, but we already established they're assholes in the beginning of the film, judging by the fact that they're just like going to this place to sleep with women, so we know. I don't think that adding this scene that's super racist and then saying this line to this Asian woman adds absolutely anything to the story. We know they're assholes. We get it. We don't need to see that.
We're getting Sweet and Spooky uncut right now.
Sorry, that just pissed me off a little bit.
No, it was weird. It was really weird, but
it was weird. And honestly, the actress also seemed low-key uncomfortable. I'm like, of course she was.
I like this. Okay, so this is one that I never actually got. I've never even told Selis this.
Saw. I choose Saw.
Wait, oh.
Okay.
I actually don't hate Cabin Fever. I do hate that line, but I
love Cabin Fever. I hate that line though.
Yeah, I think I find Eli Roth a little puerile, but I don't know. I like Saw. Eventually, they got the formula right. That like I would get excited when it get to the end and then have that piece. That was So it's neither of them are amazing, but I guess Saw.
Oh yeah,
of course.
I will say I stand Hostel Part 2 though.
Hostel Part 2 was actually very good. I like Hostel Part 2.
That's fair.
Hostel Part 2 is absolutely fire, despite them killing our leading man. That was trash. Didn't like that.
Sure.
Didn't like that. But it was great. It was a lot of fun. That one I would definitely rewatch. Jhownee, I think you like all the Hostel movies, right?
I'll take Saw and Hostel, and I'll keep it in my heart.
Okay.
You're a real one, Jhownee.
Wait, Melissa, you would say Hostel, right? I feel like I know your answer. You would say Hostel?
As of now, yes. But again, it's like it goes back. It's like I haven't really rewatched the struggler. Sorry, I haven't rewatched the Saw franchise in a minute, so I don't remember much of it to really compare the two. I've seen Hostel more recently, but
yeah. What is this?
Okay.
Is like
that's what the freaking crocodiles are.
This is what I was gonna get to.
I don't know what the fuck this is.
Lake Placid, when I was a kid, was the coolest fucking movie I ever saw. I love that fucking movie as a kid.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so Lake Placid.
Lake Placid.
I don't know what this is.
That's the crocodile movie, right? I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Betty White.
Rocco
is
is living right
She's
now.
amazing. She's hilarious.
Betty White.
Oh my god, I forgot.
I love that.
I watched this on Sci-Fi when I was like 11.
Oh, we gotta watch that.
I remember they used to give it on Sci-Fi all the time, like
Jhownee,
every other
please,
day.
We gotta watch this. We all gotta watch
That
this.
sounds interesting.
We have to watch it.
Let's watch
Let's
Lake
do it.
Placid.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
movie night.
That's why that movie that we watched. Remember that movie we watched recently, Selis, like 2 years ago? It's not really recently, but
Oh,
uh,
little crawl.
with the flood, and they're in Florida, and there's the big ass
Yeah, Crawl.
crawl.
That
yeah,
was that
Crawl.
was Crawl with Kaya. I can't say her last name. Jhownee knows how to say it because she's
Colados.
Brazilian.
that movie. I was
Scodelario.
watching it. I'm like, why does this
Thank you, Boo.
feel familiar? And that's it.
I enjoyed Crawl.
Mm.
Watched it on a plane.
You know
Love
what?
it.
Listen, I
Love
enjoyed
it.
Kaya, but the movie Kaya's amazing though. I love her.
The movie.
I have a big crush on that woman.
No, she
It's
point.
no secret.
She foing.
How does a shark get revenge? I mean,
Oh my god, that movie's
Oh, I
cursed.
haven't seen this movie. This movie's
fucking
cursed.
cursed.
Sharks full of blood.
Awful. Awful.
Listen,
Ooh,
I'm a sucker for shark movies, but that movie's fucking
wait,
cursed.
did we see Dusk Till Dawn? Is that the?
I love Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Or is that
That's the one. That's the
Love
one
it.
with Quentin Tarantino,
Yes. Yeah. I haven't seen that one.
and I think George Clooney, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. I also
Yeah.
did like the TV series as
Oh
well.
my god, I love this movie.
That was so fun. Good night, Lemmy. Thank you for coming. Oh my goodness. Lots of like hot questions here.
Thank you.
The Saw versus Hostel, I thought like I would
Oh, that
die.
was the loaded one. I was like,
I just have a lot to say.
That's why you have a YouTube channel.
There you go. Not everybody's gonna agree with me though, but I have a lot to say. So I threw a bunch of stuff around during the during the stream, and now everything's a hot ass mess. Oh, did you guys like this?
well, that was
Oh,
That
that was
got me.
iconic.
Yeah.
You guys, I thought that nobody would know what the fuck it was.
Well, you know what I would have liked better, Selis?
oh my
The DeLonghi.
Oh my god, cursed.
But let me ask, what happened to that coffee machine? You just bashed it against the floor?
Oh no, I threw it on the couch. It's totally
God.
fine.
Can you imagine?
Because it made a huge noise.
The
and I
coffee
was like,
machine is
"Whoa,
fine."
I
Oh my
destroyed
God.
it."
He's okay.
Did it? I put it on the couch. I didn't know it made any noise. That's so funny.
He survived. but
Joni
you know
was
what a
so
survivor-
worried about the coffee machine the whole time.
The coffee machine is fine.
Yeah.
Also, it was like a hand me down. It's probably gonna die at any point.
I saw you throwing it, and I was like, she did it. Oh my god.
Could you imagine? Where does my money go if I just throw my coffee machine on the ground?
R.I.P. to every cup of coffee it would have made.
Oh my god, my hand is gonna be stained. I love
Oh, this is a great question. I don't get Fangoria magazines, so I can't answer this question.
It's very expensive.
Ooh.
When I do get it, I enjoy it, but I don't know that I have a favorite. Sorry.
Sorry.
We don't have those here, so.
Brazil's like, what is it?
Some money.
it. Who?
Honestly, same.
I know what it is.
Oh,
Loaded.
I mean, I know this one. I already know my answer.
Oh, me too. Should I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say I love both. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. Dylan knows. But I'm gonna say Pet Cemetery because that film scared the shit out of me as a kid and definitely still scares me now. So like he's doing something right. So I'm gonna say Pet Cemetery for me. Jenny?
Pet Cemetery is scarier and more fun at the same time. Cujo is more suspenseful and more well acted, so I'll take both and shut up.
I'll take both. What's it?
Pet Cemetery, hands down. Just the whole thing with the on, it's like, ugh,
Iconic.
ugh, I can't.
Zelda's terrifying. Dylan?
If we're talking about the movies, then it's got to be Pet Cemetery. I don't really like the changed ending in the Cujo movie. But I also Pet Cemetery for a long time has been my favorite Stephen King book, but for reasons I can't get into, I'm working on a project that sort of is around the other piece, and so that one is very close to my heart as well. So I cannot choose. I like them both.
This makes so much sense for you. I
still haven't seen it. I read the book.
Okay. I also read the book. I don't hate this movie by any means, but I didn't love it. Now, I love Mike Flanagan, so it's no shade towards Mike Flanagan. But I didn't love this. But in general, I want to say that though I thought the book was interesting, there were bits of the book that I didn't like that I also didn't like in the film. So that was to be expected for me. Jhownee?
Well, I love it.
That makes sense. Melissa?
I have not seen it yet.
I think Rocco didn't like this one.
What movie? Oh, Doctor
Doctor Sleep.
Oh no, no! You like the movie. You like the movie.
You
I
know,
personally didn't like it.
it is what
love
it is.
Ava
It's on my
McGregor.
list, so I really do want to watch it. I thought the book was pretty good.
The book is good, but there are just things I did not like. You know. Wow, you have like a lot of fucking questions that are like bangers.
This one's easy for me.
Okay. I'm gonna say. Oh my god, this is so
God.
hard. I don't know. Hold on, let me think. Actually, you know what, Rocco? You go first while I think.
The Hills Have Eyes versus The Last House. I haven't watched The Last House on the Left in a long time. I watched The Hills Have Eyes more recently, so I'm gonna have to say just by default The Hills Have Eyes. But I'm gonna have to say right now The Hills Have Eyes, and we're gonna have to watch The Last House on the Left one more time before I can really say that.
Okay, so for me, I'm actually the opposite of Rocco. I have not seen The Hill Have Eyes in like so long. But all I know is I love The Last House on the Left. I thought it was a great movie. So I'm gonna say The Last House on the Left until I rewatch The Hills Have Eyes. Jhownee?
Well, we're talking about Wes Craven, so don't make me choose. I'll take them both. And
I'll take them both. Melissa?
I'm gonna say Last Off on the Left. That's a good one.
Dylan?
While The Hills Have Eyes is sort of an exploitation classic, I think Last House on the Left is like one of the most important movies in the canon because it really solidifies that, like what I was talking about earlier with Texas Chainsaw, that like the death of free love, and you know, once the Manson murders happened, that like nobody felt safe. And so I think Last House on the Left is the classic of the two. And I think also, if we're talking about from like a thematic standpoint, I think the sexual assault is incidental and kind of more exploitative in Hills Have Eyes, where it's more central to the themes in Last House on the Left. So Last House on the Left.
That's a great point. I'm going to have to agree with you. Okay, guys. You've all been giving such great questions, but we have hit the 3 hours and 30-minute mark.
Yes.
And we're going all night.
Oh man, Carter, you keep dropping too much fire.
Oh
We're like,
shit!
we're gonna get you
Wait,
on the
Carter,
street.
before
All
we
right, last
leave,
one, last one.
before we leave, you're the last one, baby. A Nightmare on Elm Street versus Hellraiser. Oh fuck!
Are we talking the movies or the franchises? 'Cause
He's
if we're talking-
dropping. He's
Probably
dropping
the
it hard.
franchises, right?
If we're talking franchises, A Nightmare on Elm
yeah.
Street. If we're talking movies, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. Actually, I might say Hellraiser. Sorry, I think Hellraiser 1 is a little bit like more like gets to the point a little faster and more interesting.
Oh, he's talking about franchises.
Franchise? Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
100%.
Shit. You know what, Carter? You made it hard for me. If we're talking about in terms of franchises, I'm gonna have to say A Nightmare on Elm Street. But if we were talking about separate movies, I would have said Hellraiser because I fuck with Hellraiser heavy.
Wow, we're like the same person, Selis.
I mean, Hellraiser, we do it for the vibes, baby.
The vibes. Oh no.
The vibes, like I said in every video. If you can't watch Hellraiser with me for the vibes, we can't be friends. Jhownee?
Well, you're gonna do this to me. Okay, so I love both.
You can't say both
I
again.
can
You can't say both.
But I-
No.
Okay.
both.
No.
it's because both of them are so close to my heart. Just so you know, the book prop I used in a TableScreams tonight, it was the Hellraiser book.
Oh, wait, that's beautiful.
Ooh.
That is really cool.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
I love
This
it.
is
I wish I had
leather,
that.
baby.
Oh, Elise, which Stephen King book
so
were you
beautiful.
holding there?
Oh, I have it right here. I was holding
Ligma, right?
No, I was holding Elevation.
Oh, I haven't read that one. Is it good?
This is good. It's very short.
Cool.
I highly recommend it.
Is that
Takes
the one
place
about
in Castle Rock. So,
Oh,
are you
yeah.
shocked?
Oh my god.
It's fun.
This
Oh
is
my
so
God, I need that
good.
book.
This is so good. So I love Hellraiser and I love Nightmare on Elm Street, but I can't turn my back on Wes Craven, so Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'm very proud of you for picking.
Melissa, I know her answer.
She's running.
Getting a
She
break.
doesn't want to answer.
She's getting the props ready. Dylan?
Uh,
Oh, I know his answer.
yeah. Nightmare on Elm
my
Street
God, I
was
was
like
okay.
the franchise that got me really into horror, and so for nostalgic reasons alone, I could pick that. But also, I mean, they're so similar, right? In that, like, they both started with a really strong movie and then continued until they got silly.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think I would have to go with Nightmare on Elm Street just because, you know, I think it created something that we hadn't really seen before. I mean, congrats to Hellraiser for bringing like kink into the horror scene, and that was really interesting. But
Yes.
but I just think that the concept behind Nightmare on Elm Street is so strong and
Yeah.
still works today. I think it's still a scary movie.
It is.
Mhm.
So yeah.
That just
Yeah.
makes sense. Oh, hi, Lucas, baby. Thank you
Oh,
for making
welcome.
the poster. Thank you so
Everybody
much.
give Lucas a round of applause. Can I get an F in the chat?
That poster, just so you know, I'm definitely hanging that in my studio room. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sia.
Okay, you guys. Thank you so much for all your questions. Thank you for joining in. I want to thank Rocco for being the narrator and Freddy and Lieutenant Thompson and other characters. I would like to thank Jhownee for playing Glenn and also for giving me this incredible idea for TableScreams and being
Oh my God.
literally amazing throughout the entire process, always there for me. Thank you so much. I want to thank my queen, Melissa. This is my partner in crime. Thank you so much for being a great Tina and being a great mom. Thank you so much, Dylan, for joining for the first time. I can't wait to have you back. You were incredible as Rod and every other character with a bunch of accents. Before we leave, I would like to announce that our next TableScreams will be a live reading of Sorority Row from 2009. It is going to be a lot of fun. So I hope to see you
Yes.
all there. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you all have a great night.
Stay spooky.
Stay spooky. Bye.